Good morning and welcome to Sewing Street on this lovely Monday morning. It's sunny and bright out there. Don't know if it is with you. A little bit crisp but very sunny. So I'm wearing my sunny dress today in celebration. What a lovely little twirl. What a lovely weekend it was. The blossom was out, the sun was out. I feel like the earth is coming to life. Very nice. Anyway, we've got wonderful things for you this morning on Sewing Street. In particular, early bird, which I'm drumming on here. Really excited about it. I was just having a chat with Kat about the saving on this. Oh my Lord. The saving is like double postage. Double postage. So if you haven't shopped with us before, you'll know, or if you have, you'll know that our P&P is £3.49 per day, irrespective of how much you order, or the weight, or the quantity, or how many times you order. It's £3.49. But sorry, £3.95. Get really confused this morning. It's because in my head I was working out anyway, £3.95. And the saving on this is almost your double postage. So this is a wonderful, I love this because, I mean, everyone needs a sewing box, don't they? And even if you've got one, if you're like me, you haven't got just one, you've got several. I have one that sits on the coffee table in the lounge that's for my sewing in front of the TV. I have one that sits on my workroom table that's for sewing there. And one in the office as well, obviously. And then they're great gifts as well. If you know somebody who likes sewing or you think ought to like sewing, fantastic gift for somebody. You know, if you've got someone going off to university or buying a new home or, you know, everybody, even if they can't sew, you do need a sewing kit. You need buttons and a needle and some thread at the very least. And this, it's so lovely, isn't it? It's very... It's got a lovely Scotty dog pattern. It's very sort of kind of in that 1950s retro vibe with a lovely, each dog has got either a plain one or he's got a little floral print. So got this, it does look like, it's very much like that 1950s sort of style designer whose name begins with C. CK. Oh, you're thinking, oh, okay. Kat's thinking of the handbags people with the Scotty dogs. I'm thinking of the other one. But it's lovely cream coloured background with these really attractive dogs on. Handle with rope. I'll give you a little 360, And then if we open it up, it has, should we go on the overhead and I'll show you. We have got magnetic clasp with a covered button. And it's a good magnetic clasp. I had a little go of it earlier. It does sort of fall into place, which I quite like, a nice little fabric loop. And look, it's got feet as well. So it won't scratch your table. It's got nice feet. Ooh. Inside, it's got a free packet of silica gel. Free with every purchase. I often wonder what you do with these. I always feel like, because I really like upcycling and reusing things, there must be something you can do with all of these. Maybe doorstop filling if you had enough of them. And it would absorb all the moisture as well. But I always think you should be able to do something with these. It always says, don't throw away and don't eat. Well, what am I going to do with it then? So inside you've got the acrylic plastic tray, nice clear acrylic, good strong. It's a nice strong one. It's not flimsy at all. So with lots of sections, so you can put, you know, your pin cushion, your needle case, your scissors in here, some threads, buttons, all your little pieces that you need to keep to hand. And then inside, really nice deep tray, but it's also fully lined in a lovely cream cotton fabric. And round the edge, got this beautiful cotton lace. All the way around, which feels really sort of finishes it off. On the top bit, I'll lie that down, you can see there's a pin cushion and then there's a little elasticated pocket so you can keep other things safe in. This would be good for your safety pins or your covered buttons or a little tape measure and all those little pieces. So, you know, a sewing kit that you really want to be able to use straight away, you can put your needles in there ready threaded. You could put the small things, maybe a little packet of pins in there. And then you can put your tray in here. But a lot of people don't just use these for sewing, I have noticed, and I've seen it on our fan page quite a lot. A lot of people use them for sort of makeup and hair accessories and that kind of thing. It doesn't have to just be for sewing because of all the pockets. And it's really attractive. It's a lovely thing that you could easily have in your bedroom if you wanted to not use it for a sewing box. Or if you want to have it out, you know, you don't want just a plastic bag in the corner with your sewing kit in, but you want to have it on the table when you're sewing in the lounge. And it's got hinges and a nice handle. And it's $12.99. So this is the first time that we've ever had this on air. So similar ones to this, we normally sell for £19.99. So that's and we've had others, same size, same quality, £22.99. So you're saving at least £7. So that is almost double your postage. So once you've put this in your basket, your £3.95 postage is done and dusted. You can then shop and check out, more importantly, however many times you want up till midnight, and that will be one postage. And with the saving this, you've done up double almost. So we've had a look round. We wanted to just show you that obviously that we are giving you a proper saving. We found a price comparison. This is available. This one is from Sewing Studio. Is that the sewing? Where's Singer Outlet? £23.99. And as you can see from the picture, if you put into Google Scotty Dog Sewing Box, and you can see that is identical to the one that we've got here. And now they have got a smaller version of this, and that's £19.99. So their smaller version is more expensive than our large version. So you can see that's a fantastic saving. We always do this for you on Sewing Street. Some savings are bigger than others, but we always bring you every day an early bird with an extra special saving. Let's see, look, that's the smaller one. That's the square one, £19.99. And theirs is save £3, look. And ours is £12.99. So we do, some days our savings are bigger and better than others, but this I think is a really good one. I'm very pleased we've got this one on there today. Very exciting. And it's new, brand new for us today. And already the price has gone down, but remember, it will go up again. It will. So you do need to take advantage of this today, now, and then you can have that saving. Or, you know, gift. If you think, even if you've got someone who's got, you know, a birthday in a few months' time, or Christmas, get it now, it's done. Then over the period of between now and December, you can start collecting a few little bits and pieces. Maybe put a project together, get a few fat quarter, in the bottom of this, you'd get a fat quarter bundle. You could put a little pattern, you could put some scissors, needles, fill it all up. What a lovely present. And come the beginning of December, you'll think, ha, got that in the top of the wardrobe. In fact, get a few of them. Everyone's having a sewing box for Christmas. Because, you know, everyone is, after the lockdown, everyone's loving sewing, and Sewing Bee's back on. Did you watch it last week? I did. Loved it. Oh, I love the Sewing Bee. It was really funny this week. It was just, oh, really funny. It's a good group of contestants, actually. I thought they were all quite interesting. It's gone quite diverse. I mean, they do normally try and spread it across the sort of the age and the gender, but it's quite good. I quite enjoyed that. So the Sewing Bee always kicks off a lot of sewing. And with lockdown, there's loads of you sewing. So this is a great gift. Give it another little look at that. Yeah, we should have done it online. We should have done it on Pet Day. Tuesday we did Pet Day last week. But this sort of Scotty dog symbol is always popular. But I like the little print. See the little red one at the front with all of his little flowery body and the button. So that's your early bird. I'll put the free silica gel back inside. Anyone know what to do with it? Please message me. So coming up today on Sewing Street, we have got now 8 o'clock. We've got a brand new fabric launch, which is always exciting because I love fabric and I know you do too. The Woodland Walk fabric launch. It's designed by Natalie Letty for the Anna Maria Horner Conservatory, and we'll be talking about that in more detail. Beautiful, beautiful quality fabrics with gorgeous prints. You're going to love those. 9 o'clock, we've got the lovely Cara Ackerman with us, who is making, we've got kits for 2 of the animals from the Luna Lapin Making New Friends book. Now, this book is brand new on air for us today, and it is the latest book. It's only released very recently, and we've got it brand new today. And Cara is going to be showing you how to make them. This is the little dog that she's made. Look at him with his little coat. He's very French. He's got very high-waisted French trousers and a little felt duffel. But what's lovely about this is we've put together a materials pack for you so you can make this dog exactly, because often the problem with these books is that they've got quite specific materials and you can't always find them all, but we've got the full kit and the book for you. And we're also, Luna Lapin herself, we have the full kit for that as well, and that's what Cara's going to be showing you. Luna at the moment is in stages of construction, ready for the demo, so we haven't got a picture of her. But we'll be talking to Cara about that at 9 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, we've got lots of fabrics and pre-cuts. And again, we've got some brand new fabric for you. Beautiful blue. If you love blue fabric, you're going to love this Blue Bayou range. It's really stunning with a really nice hexy print that I love. That's at 10 o'clock. And 11 o'clock, Cara's back with us with the all decked out bag. Now, this bag is from Debbie Shaw's latest book, from her summer collection. There's the bag. Now, we've got 3 different kits, so it's not just available in the colourway you've got there. There's 4 kits. 4. We've also got it in 3 other colourways, and what's lovely is we've also got with it is the rope that you can see there. We've got that and the eyelets as well, because those are often things that are difficult to get hold of. You might have the fabric, but it's all of those little bits and pieces, and that rope really makes the bag, and we've got it for sale today. So she's going to be showing us how to make that at 11 o'clock. 12 o'clock is Yarn Lane, and oh yes, we've got another exclusive launch. Wonderful Chloe Birch, who is the knitwear designer, who has designed a whole new range of knitwear for West Yorkshire spinners using the exquisite 4-ply yarn. Now, if you have a look around the studio today, you will see that I have got some of the samples. She's going to be coming on demonstrating, explaining how she designs her knitwear, how she works with West Yorkshire spinners, and this yarn is beautiful. It's mixture between wool and silk. Oh, it's the most lovely. I've bought myself some. I've started knitting with it, and it's just glorious. So she'll be on with us. We've got books, kits, yarn, patterns, everything. So if you love knitting and you love 4-ply, or you just want to meet a real live knitwear designer, join me at 12 o'clock on Yarn Lane. Oh, I need to move her. I need to move. I should have done that before. There I am. Ta-da! I got carried away talking about knitwear and forgot to move. So this is the new collection that we have today for you. So Anna Maria Horner, if you know anything about fabric or you love fabric, she is a fantastic fabric designer. She designs for Free Spirit Fabrics. Now, she has gathered together over the last few years a group of people from all across the globe, from different areas, so they have different influences and different techniques, but people that she has handpicked herself. So they sort of reflect her love of colour and pattern, but they have a different twist on it. And then they together are the Anna Maria Horner Conservatory. I don't know why it's called a conservatory. I think it's like when you have a conservatoire, you know. It's not a conservatory as in that glass thing on the side of your house. I think it's more of a collection. So she has put these designers together. Now, the fabric collection we have today for you is called Woodland Walk, and it's designed by Nathalie Lette, who is lives in Paris. She's half Chinese and half German. She's a very interesting lady, and she has the most wonderful love and passion for colour, print. She is a real collector of all different items and ephemera, and she designs for all sorts of people. So I was having a look. She designs for Anthropology. You know what the Anthropology china and textiles are like. They are brimming full of colour and pattern and quirkiness. But she also does designs for H&M. She has done some beautiful collections, particularly children's designers of very heavily floral and leaf prints. She designs for Gucci. But she is part of Anna Maria Horner's Conservatory. Now, this collection of fabrics called Woodland Walk reflects her love of nature and woodland and slightly quirky things as well. There's sort of a hint of Little Red Riding Hood and shuffling through the leaves. So in the collection, now all of these fabrics you can buy by the ½ metre. But in this bundle of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 ½ metres, you're getting 1½ metre for free. So for £82.39, you get 6 metres. So 12 ½ metres of fabric. Now, the beautiful thing about buying fabrics from one fabric collection is you know that all the colours go together and all the prints go together. So if you've got in mind you want to make a quilt, for example, from the whole collection, something a bit fun and funky and bright and cheerful, you can put these together in any order you want, and you know that they will mix and match because they are in one collection. When a designer designs a collection of fabrics, they take a colour palette and then they put it all together so that you know. And that's the beauty of fabric designers. I'm rubbish at colour, but these designers, they sort of know what works, and they put together colours that you never think would work, but they do. So that's the beauty of this. However, obviously you don't need to use it for making a whole quilt. You can use it, you know, keep it and use it for all different things. You know, you can make a bag from one, a cushion from another, liner pocket in one. You could join them together. You could use them for dressmaking, all different sorts of things. You don't have to use them for one thing, but if you do, they will all go together. So shall we have a look at them one by one? Where should we start? Let's start on the left. On the left. Look at this one. I love this one. Beautiful. I've got to open it out so you can see the birds on it. This really feels dressmaking. So remember, this is the bundle, but everything is also available now, the ½ metre. So the background of this is an ivory with a lovely turquoise. It is very woodland, azure it's called, but it's like little bluebells and daisies. It's the sort of little flowers you found on the ground when you're walking through the woodland. Really beautiful, and it's very hand drawn. And then you've got these lovely birds. I don't know what, oh, they're swallows. It's called the swallows. That will be what they are then. So the swallows on azure, so they're beautiful swallows holding 4-leaf clover, so they must be lucky swallows. And here and there you've got picked out different flowers in colour and hearts. So this obviously is a beautiful print in itself, but if you wanted to use it for fussy cutting or applique, these birds would look beautiful. If you cut out one in a square, press some bond web onto the back of it, you could then cut it out and then applique it onto something else. So even if you say you wanted to use this and you had a little bit left, don't waste any of it, because the birds in themselves are beautiful. And this is Free Spirit fabric, 100% cotton, and it is beautiful quality. The designer label fabrics are always lovely quality. It's very soft. It is quilting weight, but it has a really lovely drape to it, which is what you get when you buy the more quality fabrics. Love that one. So that is Swallows on Azure. I love the fact they're sort of very hand drawn, and quite often you will see like a black outline in them, but these are real lovely royal blue outline to them. They are very, very like screen printing. Beautiful. And it's unusual, isn't it? I mean, but you can tell this is a really talented designer. Who would have thought that you'd put this sort of background of all these little floral prints and then these amazing bright swallows? But it does feel very Anthropology, doesn't it? Right, we've got the same print again, swallows. Yeah, this says it's on rose, so it's, I mean, it's, the background of it is a very, very pale pink, which when you look there, doesn't look pale pink. But if I put the one before next to it, you can see now how the background on this one is an ivory, and this one is a very pale rose pink. But without putting it next to that, it looks cream, but then it's got the same azure flowers. And the swallows themselves are in a pink. So these two fabrics go beautifully together. If you wanted to do some swallow applique, or you wanted to do, maybe you were just a very simple cushion or quilt with just like 4 5-inch squares, you could cut out one swallow for each thing. And obviously the swallows on the azure one are blue and the swallows on this one are pink. But what a beautiful fabric collection. And I think sometimes with fabrics like this, they speak so much on their own. Your quilt design doesn't actually need to be that complicated. But what a beautiful cotton blouse for the summer. And it would look very designer. When you think she designs fabrics for Gucci and fabrics for Anthropology and textiles, if you made something from this, you'd look like, you know, you'd probably need, you know, to make a little blouse, metre, metre and a half, you'd look like you had a blouse worth about £80. Yeah, we're going to have a look. So we're going to just show you something that that Natalie has designed for Gucci. This is from her website. If you're interested in her designs, she does have her own website that you can visit. But look at the quality of her designs and prints. So this is, you know, this is Gucci. So you buy one of these fabrics, you're going to be walking around in a Gucci top. It's beautiful though, isn't it? Such talent. I think what with these designers, it's not only their talent in drawing and art and colour, it's how they put combinations together, how they pick up different colours and elements and motifs throw them all together and they just work. And then when you buy the fabric, you own a little piece of art, because art isn't just about paintings and paper, it's about fabric as well. So the next one, this is really unusual. Oh look, this is where you get Little Red Riding Hood. So this is a lovely Dijon mustard background. This one is called Nearby Wolf, because look, there he is. It's on olive. Okay, it's not olive, it's mustard and burgundy. So look, you've got the wolf, and where is she? There she is, Little Red Riding Hood. And then there you've got Naughty Wolf behind the trees. You've got her picnic basket with some toadstools, rabbits, trees, flowers. It's really lovely, isn't it? So, you know, from a distance, it just looks like colour. And when you get close up, beautiful motifs. So say you were doing some EPP, the motifs are so small that you could have Red Riding Hood in the centre of one. You could have a little bluebell in the centre of another, a little flower. So it's absolutely fantastic for that. But as an all-over print, it works really well on its own. But, you know, if you're wanting to put cornerstones on a quilt, maybe you were making a quilt that's got sashing and borders. Rather than having vertical and horizontal sashing, you could break it up with cornerstones from something like this, because it's absolutely stunning. It's the sort of fabric you own, you think, well, I'm not going to use that. And then one day you find just the right thing. But again, although it is quilting weight fabric, it's perfectly good weight for dressmaking too. And because it's 100% cotton, it's really nice to sew with. The designer sort of quality fabric, there is a difference. Now we've got exactly the same print. Sometimes in the different colours you see things differently. So exactly the same print, but in royal. So it's got like a royal blue background, and then the trees are in a very dark green, and then all the other elements are in quite a vibrant lime. So now things are really standing out, which it didn't in the same way with that one. Now you can really see, it's like night vision goggles. Now you can see the wolf, and you can see there's Little Red Riding Hood there. Oh, rabbit. I didn't notice the rabbit in the other one. It is in the other one, but you don't see it as much. There's a little rabbit, there's her picnic basket, there's the wolf hiding behind the tree. So suddenly by changing the colour palette, the fabric changes, but because they're the same print, they go together really well. So I'm just going to put that one next to it, and then you can see, look at that. I'm thinking, wouldn't that make the most fantastic? I would make a dress and make the bodice in this, and I'd put the sleeves in this one. Really stunning. Oh, so some people have asked about the dress I'm wearing. Well, I made it from a pair of curtains, actually, that I bought on eBay for £4. I had to wash them twice because it smelled so bad. They obviously, I reckon somebody had sort of bought a house and thought, oh, whoa. And as curtains, well, I mean, they're very kind of 50s, I guess. Some bits of them, so one curtain was the front, one was the back, and then the leftovers were the sleeves. So there were some bits in the seams where they're all a bit faded, you know, where they hang in the sunlight. And then I made this, and then I thought, oh, I got a bit bored, so I put longer sleeves on. Don't ever sew with long sleeves on. I've tried that, and it all gets caught and everything. And you can't wear a jumper over it either, which is quite annoying. But it's very 50s, isn't it? And it's bark cloth as well. I love bark cloth, which is a really 50s thing. In fact, we have sold bark cloth before because it is really good for quilting. So buy curtains. Buy curtains off eBay, cheap curtains. They're great. But they're a little bit faded in places. Mix it with other things. Right, this is the pink one. Coral. That's not coral. This is really... Why do they call them funny names? This is a really bright pink. The background images are in a burgundy with quite a bright... It almost looks the same colour as the background of that. So yeah, they are actually. When you see, you wouldn't think these two would go together, but the colour palette is the same. So the background in here is picked out in here. The burgundy that's in here is in here. So the whole thing goes together. I love the pink though. Again, the small images really pop, don't they? The little leaves and the Little Red Riding Hood with her flower and bluebells. And the basket. I like the basket. And you've got all sorts of... I mean, this is weird because this looks like a palm tree. Because these are like sort of a woodland walk. I'm not sure you see that look does look like a palm tree. Now that's very woodland. I'm not very good at trees, so I have no idea what these are. That might be a fir tree, I think. That's probably a fir tree. I'm not sure what that one is. But what I like is the scale of things. It's a really odd scale. So you get flowers as big as trees and a wolf as big as a flower. And Red Riding Hood is smaller than the basket. Very odd. But it's really nice, and I think by matching the scales like this, it just makes the motifs stand out. It doesn't all have to be in exact scale. But those 3 fabrics, so you get all of these, if you're buying the whole pack, they all go together. And it's only sometimes when you have a look at them very closely that you see how well they all go together. But aren't they lovely? Really like them. Beautiful. But there's more. Oh, Kat's just said I've got to pick a favourite. That's really mean, isn't it? Can everybody else pick my favourite for me? Because I don't know, because I really like them. Could you, yeah, somebody else suggest their favourite? Rabbits. Oh, this is lovely, isn't it? Completely. So this one is called, is it just called, oh, mini rabbits? On apple. Oh, yeah, apple as in a red apple. See, when you say apple, I'm thinking green, but no, this is on apple. But when you look at it like that, now you've got your whole screen filled, it looks almost like a dotty print. But it isn't. It's loads and loads of rabbits. You've got lying down rabbits, sitting rabbits, jumping rabbits. But it's lovely, isn't it? So it's not. I like it when you have fabrics like this where it's a smaller print, is much smaller scale. But when you look closely, you see there is actually something, and it's just loads and loads of rabbits. It's like a whole field full of rabbits. And they're in a very pale azure colour. So they are, I would say, the same colour as this one here. But you see how that really goes together because they join. They're the same colour way, which you wouldn't think of putting together. I don't know how they do this. Good job I'm not a fabric designer. I'd love to see my fabric collection. Probably look like my dress. Right, then we've got, yeah, my fabric collection wouldn't be like this. Love the pink one. Same thing, but it's called Fuchsia. Now I get that, we can have that one. Mini rabbits. Now this, yeah, I'm thinking little girls' dresses with this. How pretty. I mean, any little girl would just be beside themselves, wouldn't they? To have a dress that's mini rabbits all over. But it's lovely. But again, you know, it's dress making for yourself as well. It's, you know, from a distance it will just look like you're wearing a pretty pink blouse or dress or whatever, but when you get close it's full of rabbits. Really like. But again, you know, all of different homewares. I know a lot of the time with these fabric collections we use them for patchwork and quilting, but they are really good for all things. You know, even if you wanted to just make a little cosmetic bag as a gift, 1/2 metre, 2 bags. And then if you buy 2 1/2 metres, 2 bags and 2 with linings as well. And what you can do is sometimes it's nice, and we often do it the other way round, but sometimes it's nice to have a small scale print on the outside and use a really bold, large scale print on the inside. So I would pair this rabbit with this one, because I think, although you'd obviously lose a bit of the swallows, I think if you had even the rabbits on the outside and you put this on the inside, it just makes it look so much more quality when you open up inside and you've got a beautiful fabric on the inside. It's the sort of thing that when you go to a designer shop and you buy something, if you went to Anthropology and you bought yourself a makeup bag, they would have a beautiful fabric on the inside. So sometimes, mostly, we do make things where we have the large scale print on the outside and the smaller the inside, but swap it round, try it different ways, because it really does work. And it means sometimes that there's a bolder fabric that you think, oh, that's too bold for me, I don't think I want to use that on something. Use it as a lining. Then we've got florals. So this one, oh, I like this one. This is like almost like an etched line drawing. So this one is called Butterflies in the Garden, and it's on cerise, but it's a ivory coloured background with cerise line drawings, all one colour. It is very, yeah, it has that kind of pottery look to it, doesn't it? But it is beautiful. Now this is where you can really see that this is a designer fabric. If you look at Natalie's website and you see the things that she has designed, they're really sort of full on intense florals and detail, but just in one colour. So you've got beautiful, there you go, beautiful individual butterflies all flying everywhere. And then smaller ones, so again perfect for fussy cutting little pieces of applique, ideal for embroidery. So if you wanted to make something like just like a little zip purse or a tote bag from this, you could embroider parts of it. So where you've got like a butterfly here, you could embroider some of the colours of the butterfly into it, put a few French knots here and there, or you could make the tote bag from this and then embroider someone's name or a slogan or whatever on the on top of it. And if you did that in quite an orange or a bright blue, really stand out. And suddenly, from 1/2 metre of fabric, you've got a designer bag. Because this is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And then you've got loads and loads of different flowers, all some of them intertwining. But again, you know, remember you can pick these out with other things. I think these are cowslips. They look like cowslips, don't they? But you could just embroider the yellow bits on them. But, you know, just when you have fabric as beautiful as this, what you make from it can be really very simple because the fabric speaks for itself. But 1/2 metre will make a lovely tote bag. And then you can use, if you buy the whole bundle, you can then use another one to line it. So we've got exactly the same fabric, but in another colourway. Again, because of the theme behind all the fabrics, this is in that sort of azure colour background like that we had with the swallows. But I think that's her little twist on things, that she puts these colours together. So this has got a very pale, well, it's called an azure, but it's a very, very pale soft blue with a raspberry red. It's not bright red, it's not pink, it's like a raspberry red, the colours on this. So you can see how it looks, the difference between the pink and this sort of raspberry red on the background. It's beautiful, isn't it? I was thinking, have I got it upside down? I'm going to turn down. Clothing is really good for this. I think this makes the prettiest summer dress. Because this is so beautiful, you really, really do want to show it off. Even, you know, really pretty, just little lightweight curtains would look lovely in it, or a kitchen blind. I think, but it is also very bedroom. A couple of cushions for the bed would look so pretty. If you could even cover a little lampshade. But, you know, a quilt. You imagine making a quilt from this. I mean, it really is, it's just stunning. There is a difference when you have these designer fabrics, the quality of the fabric, but not just that. You know, you think it takes quite some time and investment. You need these bigger design houses to be able to afford to employ and bring on board people like Natalie Lette to use them and use their prints, and then you own a piece of this art. Now, if you had to buy one of her prints, even if it was, you know, not an original, but one of her art prints, it cost an absolute fortune, but you have this as fabric. You know, you could just use it to frame, make it into a picture, or put it into an embroidery hoop and hang it on the wall and put some embroidery with it as well. That would look amazing, but you're owning a piece of art, but printed onto fabric. What could be better? Cover a little notebook. You know, it's quite easy to cover A5 notebooks. It would look amazing in that, wouldn't it? Garden notes. It'd be very nice for your little gardening journal, wouldn't it? Now we go really super bold with this one. What? Oh, wow, it's fawn in flowers. So let's have a look at this one. Whoa. Really bright cerise pink background, which is the same colour that's in one of the, that goes throughout the collection. And then the really bold flowers, which is very similar to the flowers that are in the two line prints ones that we just looked at. But then in amongst it, there's all these animals. There's a fawn, and a standing up fawn, and an owl, and a stag. Kissing fawns. Oh yeah, let me bring those in, look. I think that's a deer leaping over the butterfly. Kissing fawns. a big deer, a rabbit. But isn't it great? It's very Alice in Wonderland, isn't it? The scale of the animals. The rabbit is bigger than the owl. The fawn is almost the same size as the deer, but I love that they haven't sort of stuck to scale. It works really well. And then you've got like a little toadstool. But the colours work together really well, don't they? So you've got white, navy, blue. So it looks dark, but this is a navy, this outline of these things. But I mean, it just is stunning, isn't it? When you look at it, you know that this is a real designer and this is quality. And I think it's lovely that a lot of these designers, that they use their work in many different media. So they design for fabrics and textiles, as well as china and pottery and homewares and clothing, all sorts of things. But that's beautiful, isn't it? So that's half a metre, £7.49. And it's your normal width, 44-inch width, 112 centimetres. So what your normal quilting fabric would be. Then we've got the same fabric. So this is unusual, because now it gets really stunning, because this one has got a black background. Look at that. And again, you know, when we looked at those first prints with the Red Riding Hood on, things stand out differently. Suddenly, the animals now really come to the fore, just because of the colours that are used in them. So you can see much more. Like there's the kissing fawns. They should have called it kissing fawn. It's called fawn in flowers. Fawns and lots of other animals as well. Oh, I had a lovely message from Angelina. I don't know what your name is, but you're great. My name's Rebecca. Thank you, Angelina. I'm glad you're watching on this lovely, lovely morning. It's a bit cold, isn't it? Best to be inside till lunchtime, I'd say. I thought it was really warm because I had the heating up in the car, and then I stopped halfway to get a coffee and thought, whoa, it's cold out here. Quickly got back in. But so you've got a black background. The flowers, they're not white, they're like an ivory colour. And then you've got this azure, this blue that goes throughout the whole collection is there with the purple as well. I've just realised that fawn has got a baby. Is that a baby? Or is that just what I'm seeing? And then the flowers are red with pink on the background. It is, isn't it? It's a baby. See, I thought that can't be a fawn, then that must be the fawn. But they go really well together. So if you were going to make something and line it, look at how well those two go together. Very nice. Apron. I'm thinking, wouldn't it look lovely? One of these. I've got a couple of Anthropology aprons, I have to be honest. But wouldn't they look lovely as a kitchen apron? Only for special occasions and not for when making chocolate cake, obviously. But although they are clearly 100% cotton and fully washable. Actually, the black one would be good for a kitchen apron because it wouldn't show the dirt so much, or the chocolate cake. And the final one, well, this is like almost like a panel because it's massive animals. I need to open out the whole thing for you to appreciate. This isn't a panel, it's sold by the half metre. But just so you can see. Look at that, massive rabbit. I love that one. What's this one called? Mitzi and Friends. I think Mitzi's, in fact, I think from reading her website, Mitzi is Natalie's cat. So look, if you look at her, she has a lot of collections of cats and china cats and cats with clothes on, all sorts. So you've got this enormous, just outline print of a cat. Squirrel. 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 A bird. I'm not sure what that bird is. Not very good at birds. You'd think I'd know after doing Bird of the Month, wouldn't you? But I'm not absolutely sure what that bird is. Next Bird of the Month, I think it's next Monday. April. I'm confused because I've just made May and I'm thinking about June. But April. It's next Monday, and it is the blue tit. The blue tit. It's the Birdhouse peg bag. That's completely original idea. Completely. But anyway, you'll see that next. Blue Bird of the Month. Actually, the birds that I've done so far, those are the ones that I do know. So that can't be a wren or a pigeon or a blue tit, 'cause I know them. Hedgehog. That's not a bird. That's a hedgehog. But in this panel are all the colours that you will see in the rest of the collection. So you've got the black that's in this print here. You've got the red, which is in this print here. Obviously, you've got the blue that goes throughout. You've got the orange, which features in lots of them as smaller details. So like this one here has got the orange, the peachy orange colour. The pink, which is in nearly every print. So this big panel ties everything together. So if you wanted to make a quilt, you could use one of the large animals or cut the animals out and use them in different squares. That would look really nice. Or you could frame them. I think some of these animals would look absolutely stunning. Can you imagine just like, all you need, cheap frame, cheap wooden frame, wrap it around the sides of it, staple gun, done. Very lovely. But I'm thinking like little children's drawstring bag. Put your PE kit in. So Kat was saying she's just having a look at Natalie's website and on it, she's looking at other websites that sell her prints. Oh look, oh that's lovely. £30 for a little bag, glasses case and a smaller page. So £30, wow. So you can buy you could buy 4 half meters and you'd be able to make that times many. But look how lovely they look on smaller things. I mean, in this big cat, I mean, you know, this a cushion in itself. If you made this into a cushion, you could quilt round the edge of the cat. Bit of bright pink piping round the edge. You could, if you had one of the other fabrics, you could use that to put a border on. But it's just beautiful, isn't it? It's just so unusual. And I think that's the great thing about Sewing Street, is that we can bring you things that you might not have seen in other places, but really different styles. So, you know, one day we've got very traditional checks and florals and Liberty, and the next day we've got this, which is, it is. But this is your chance to buy this, buy the half metre. Yeah, I think if I was going to buy some of this, I would buy more, because look, you can see, depends which bit you get. That cat comes in green, so you're always going to get whole of some animals and then bits of another one, and I'm thinking that must be a green rabbit because his ears look the same as that. And that one, you see how they are repeating, so you've got here the burgundy squirrel, it's the same, but they're in mirror image, and there's more of this that you can't even see. I mean, it does obviously all repeat down, but all the colours. So the burgundy in the squirrel, I can never say squirrels, I have to go squirrel, squirrel. That's what my dog says when she sees one in the garden, squirrel, and her head turns round. But the burgundy that's in the squirrel is in the upside down burgundy of this one as well. So the whole thing goes together. So if you buy the whole collection, it does, everything mixes and matches. Now we do still have some availability on the big collection. Remember, with the big collection of 12 fabrics, so 6 metres, because you get 12 half metre of each, you get half a metre for free. So that is the saving, which is a whole £7.49 saving, which is more, it's like double postage. You know, you just think how many, if you were going to, you're going to start your Christmas presents, or you're going to do a stall at a craft fete, or for a charity, just think how many things you can make from this. And because the fabric is so beautiful, you don't actually have to put a lot of effort into what you're making, because the fabric is so stunning. If you made a gift for somebody made in any of these fabrics, they would just be so impressed because it's beautiful. Now I can put these back together in any order, but all the colours go together. I can do this if I want. I can put them back in any order. Well, only to show you that you don't have to put the same prints together. You can put them in any order and they all go together. So you might have something in mind that you're going to make from the whole collection. You might think, oh, I've seen this fantastic quilt design. I want to do a log cabin, and the beauty of this is that there are lots of light prints and lots of dark prints. So this is ideal for the log cabin that I want to do. Or you might think, oh, I just really like these. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them, but I'm thinking, yeah, bags, purses and makeup bag, that sort of thing. And then you've got all of them so that you don't use them all in one go. But if you look at, you know, some even as simple as a half square triangle flying geese quilt would look fantastic in this. But look at the whole range, and you can choose which one is free. Ah, now I've got to choose my favourite fabric. Well, I think it's the swallows, and I think it's this one. Yeah, the first one, not because it was the first one, but because I love the background. I love the fact that it's got this really pale ivory. I like the fact that from a distance it just looks like an all over pattern, and when you get close it's all woodland flowers, but done in a very naive style. So there's just very roughly hand sketched, and then on top of it are these absolutely beautiful swallows. Now I like the fact that you've got them all in this lovely royal blue outline, but really mad bright colours. So you've got a bit of peppermint green and then fuchsia, and they're all holding a four-leaf clover. So I think this is my favourite. Oh, we've got a message from Trudy. Hi Rebecca, I've ordered the swallow fabric to make a Gertie blouse. Oh, I can't read that. And I'm doing a stall at a vintage fair, so hopefully we'll wear it. Well, you will look amazing. Honestly, Trudy, that will look fantastic. Please send me a picture, because that is what, to me, I mean, I would use these for making homemade things, but I would really like to make a dress in one of these. So maybe, yes, if I patchwork one, when I come on air next time, I'll pinch this whole fabric collection, join it all together and make another dress. Oh, do send me a picture, Trudy. I'd love to see that, because I bet that would look amazing. Beautiful. So the most popular fabric is oh, this one. This is the most popular fabric today. But it is so versatile. I mean, and that is bedroom cushion, summer blouse, got beautiful tote bag. It's everything, isn't it? So there's loads of things, and I love the idea, the fact that it would work really well with embroidery. And you know, when you often see things where people have done someone's name or a slogan in sort of quite thick, bold satin stitch on top of a background like this, and it looks amazing. So I'm not surprised that's the most popular, but the swallow one is my favourite. Don't forget though, if you want the whole bundle where you get half a metre for free, £82.39. And if you've already bought the early bird today, your P&P's free, and you've got a sewing case box all in together. So we've also got some plain fabrics, which if you were thinking, I would like this to go a little bit further, or I need a bit of binding, it often looks nice to bind the edge of a zip and then put that into a purse, or you want to put some piping, then we have got some plains that will go with this collection. So obviously the blue goes beautifully, doesn't it? Royal blue. Now this picks up the blue in the swallows, it picks up the blue in there, picks up the blue in this panel. It obviously, because the blue is in here, it will go with any of them. So if you're thinking I need some sashing or binding or piping, or I just want to make the back of the cushion with a plain fabric that will go, or I want to line my bag with something plain, I don't want to waste my print fabric, although lining does look nice in it, that goes beautifully. And it's Rose and Hubble, it's 100% cotton, it is beautiful quality plain fabric, so you're not decreasing the quality, it will go, and the weight is the same. It is beautiful, isn't it? So the royal blue is lovely. Now I really like this green, I don't know what shade of green that is. Chartreuse, which is very apt with Nathalie Leté and Luna Lapin. It's the French day today. This picks up Red Riding Hood, and obviously there's lots, but that colour, but it picks up the colours in the swallows as well. So it does pick up a lot of different ones. If you just had bought the swallows print or one of these, it goes really well. I mean, even if you just took out the rabbits and you put that chartreuse green, I mean, that is stunning, isn't it? I'm thinking, you know, if you made just like a tote bag and you wanted to put a panel across the top or handles, that looks amazing. And it actually goes really well with all of them. If you were thinking anthropology style apron, £30. Look, there's the, oh, I love anthropology aprons. £30. You can make your own. And you, same designer by Natalie Lette, but you see how the waistband and the straps and the ties are done in a plain fabric. So if you picked one of our plain fabrics, they go really well. I mean, and I honestly think, you know, even this really bright fuchsia background with that green, because it is the Woodland collection. Now, this sea green colour, jade, this, I think this is one of Natalie's colours, because look, it complements that one. It complements that one. It even goes beautifully with the pink. I mean, it goes really well with all of them, but that really is one of her colours. When you look at her designs and palettes, that goes really well. That's a lovely shade of, yeah, jadey teal green. But if you want the fabric to really stand out, then use something a bit plainer, but not a black. Use a grey. A grey is softer. Yeah, when we started lockdown, we couldn't get hold of grey because everyone was buying grey, but it's just the sort of softer version. I mean, grey goes beautifully with pink, doesn't it? Let's move all of that away. So if we take this beautiful soft print, so say you wanted to make an apron and you wanted to do some binding, or you were going to make a blouse and you just wanted to put a little bit of binding around the cuffs. Because this is how, what I always do is if you fold it, if you want to see what it's going to look like, fold it so you haven't got a raw edge, you've got a fold because it looks a bit more realistic. And then if you put your print fabric on top, and I usually do about sort of 1/2 inch, because then that's about how much you'd see if you were going to do some binding. Then you can see what it looks like. If you just do a raw edge, it never looks the same. So if we took that one and then put the swallows that we love on top of it, and you can see what that looks like. And then what I do, because then I still can't decide, is I then get another fabric. You can see how this all works. Then you put that one there. Make sure you can't see the other one. And then you put them both together. And now look at the difference. And, well, yeah, this is how all my Amber Makes designs happen, with lots of folding. And then I think, oh, do you know, I still can't decide. I wonder if this one would look nice. Yeah, and then I ask Amy. Because I've given up by that point. But this is how, you know, because we've all got lots of fabrics in our stash. If you really want to see how something goes, it's quite interesting when you look at that, because the charcoal is making the bird stand out. The jade is making the background stand out. And the green is making the leaves stand out. So you just have to choose which part you want to pull out, which part of the design. So choose a colour that pulls out the part of the design that you like the most. And then you still can't decide. I'd spend ages doing this. And do you know what I do as well, which really works when I really, really can't decide, is I take a picture on my phone of them all. And there's something about looking at a photo and then looking at it from a distance. It sometimes just pulls out the colour that actually works. You get so confused because you've tried lots and lots of different ones. Because maybe, you know, as I say, it might be just a small binding or an edge or a border. But if you take a picture on your phone, you know, even with all of them laid down there, the colour that you like most, it stands out better when it's in a smaller thing like a photo. So if you can't decide, that's what I would do. We have got some other 1/2 meters here as well. So we've got other colours. Let me just... So if you want something that's... These are quite bold, the ones I've shown you already. But we have picked these specially that will go with this fabric collection to save you. I mean, we're so lucky. We've got so many of these plain colours that we get to choose. So we've got several shades of mauve like this. So this is like a lilac. Now this does look very pretty with this one, doesn't that? Really pretty if you want something very soft. Oh, this one's moving into the lead as the most popular, but doesn't it look lovely with the lilac? But it also looks lovely with the royal blue. So if we put it against this one, It looks really lovely with that one, but it also works well if you want to tone down something as bright as this. That's really soft. But then we've got this lovely, like, I was going to say it's like a magenta. That'll be because it is. This is the colour of Kat's car, honestly, and we look very funny in the car park, Kat and I, because I've got a bright yellow car and she's got a bright magenta car. We're like this little rainbow in the car park. And then the boys arrive and they've got really boring cars. Because Elliot's got a boring grey car. I shouldn't say that because probably lots of people have got boring grey cars. But I bet they can't find their car in the car park, eh, Kat? I can. Know where my car is. But this magenta looks lovely with that, doesn't it? So if you put it against the two of them, you can see, oh, which one do I want to pick out? But that picks out really well. So if you wanted to pick out that colour, it also picks out the burgundy on this fabric with the little Red Riding Hood one. If I put that together, confusing thing, they will move it like that. So I take the mauve out. Isn't that lovely? Very designer, that look. When you're going to choose a border or a binding for something, try and choose a solid that does really pull out colours like that. If you go into shops where there's a lot of really nice colour matching, you know, the really more expensive designer shops where they have got lovely little linings, this is the sort of effect you see. Like that. Moving on to the pale pink. Now, pale pink works well with a lot of this collection. I mean, obviously it works well with this fabric because it picks up the pink in it, but it works really well with the azure backgrounds as well. That's really lovely, isn't it? It's quite a sort of a safe choice as well. You know, if you want just a very subtle little edge or bags handles or something, it's a very safe choice, but it looks so pretty, isn't it? So if you're going to make a cushion to go on your bed, or any sort of like little things like a makeup bag, how pretty is that? Right, and then the next one is turquoise. Is it all called turquoise? This is called Sky. That's an amazing, that's more Mediterranean-eyed sky. I've not ever seen English sky like that. That's Caribbean or Mediterranean sky. But doesn't that look lovely? So that picks out lots of the colours in the collection. Kat's supposed to be on the beach now, but she's not. You wouldn't be having as much fun here if you're on the beach, Kat. Exactly, you'd be on the beach. How boring would that be? When you could be here. And then black. Black. Got to have a black. Just, whoa. You know. Now, all of our plain fabrics, we try and keep them in stock all the time. But obviously, they're always on the website. You can have a look at them. But sometimes it's just nice to see what they look like with our fabrics. With this mustard. That's beautiful, isn't it? So this is when you have to suddenly choose. So shall I go grey or shall I go black? There is the question. So let's put them next to each other, and now I'm going to show you what the difference is. Very different, isn't it? So the black creates a really stunning statement edge, but the grey, a little bit softer. Depends what you want to go with. But you can see how beautifully that mustard goes with the black and the grey. So I hope that's helped a bit, because sometimes I think when you're trying to choose fabrics if you're in a shop, you'd be fine because you'd be doing this yourself, and the shop owner would probably asking you to leave by now because you'd have all of the I'm like this when I'm in fabric shops. I've always got loads of them out, but at least you can see now which fabrics go together. Anyway, have a look on the website. If you click on www.sewingstreet.com, click on Watch Live and scroll down below that, and all the fabrics that I've shown you now, they're all on there, easy to see, so you can choose which ones you want or buy the whole bundle. I will be back with you in a couple of minutes' time with Cara and Luna. Cara and Luna, the Lapin.
If you like to get in touch with us during our live show and send in any messages or any questions, then you can do it on studio@sewingstreet.com. Alternatively, you can message us on our official Facebook page.
Are you a fan of Sewing Street and Yarn Lane? Why not join our growing Facebook fans pages? Just search Sewing Street Fans and Yarn Lane TV Fans on Facebook and click Join Group. It's that simple. Never miss out on the latest news and updates from our presenters and guest designers, special offers and plenty of chat with your fellow fans. Share photos of your makes, ask for advice, interact with your favourite guests and presenters and be a part of the ever-growing sewing and yarn community. See you there!
We know that shopping online can be a confusing and sometimes daunting task, and sometimes all you want to do is talk to a human being. Well, our family-run customer service team are on call 24/7. They're full of friendly, warm-hearted individuals, all trained to make your shopping experience as easy and as enjoyable as possible. And not only will they take your order, they will also help and guide you on your shopping journey, so you never miss out.
If you're a Sewing Street or Yarn Lane customer, no matter how many times you check out in one day, you will only pay one postage and packaging. So don't wait to add the item you want to your basket and check out. You will only pay one P&P even if you check out multiple times in one day. Missed the live show? Don't worry, we recorded it for you. Never miss out on your favourite presenters, guests and makes ever again. Head on over to our YouTube pages to watch back the day's live show and enjoy your favourite demos over and over again. We also have lots of great content exclusive to our YouTube pages, such as product demonstrations, troubleshooting videos, and so much more. Subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you never miss a show or video ever again.
Keep up to date with what's on Sewing Street and Yarn Lane, as well as all the latest news and special offers by signing up to our email newsletters. For Sewing Street, head on over to www.sewingstreet.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, type in your email address, click the envelope, and you're done. It's exactly the same for Yarn Lane. Head on over to www.yarnlane.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, type in your email address, click the envelope, and that's it. You are now subscribed to both Sewing Street's and Yarn Lane's email newsletters, so you'll never miss out on the latest news and special offers ever again.
Are you a fan of Sewing Street and Yarn Lane? Why not join our growing Facebook fans pages? Just search Sewing Street Fans and Yarn Lane TV Fans on Facebook and click Join Group. It's that simple. Never miss out on the latest news and updates from our presenters and guest designers, special offers and plenty of chat with your fellow fans. Share photos of your makes, ask for advice, interact with your favourite guests and presenters and be a part of the ever-growing sewing and yarn community. See you there! And welcome back to the Lunar Lapin show, otherwise known as Sewing Street. So very exciting. We have this new book. It's new, brand new on Sewing Street today. It hasn't been out very long. It's not brand new, but it's new to us. And it's the latest book, Lunar Lapin, Making New Friends. Now, I know how much you all love it, and we see it all the time on the fan page where you've made Luna from other books, you've made all her different clothes. But we've had loads and loads of messages with people really excited. And I think the best thing about this is obviously you can buy the book from us, but the fact that we've put together a bundle of fabrics so that you can make Luna and Hugh. He's your very own Hugh Grant, isn't he, really? In dog form.
Very dapper.
Very dapper and gorgeous. And it's these fabrics that are often difficult to find because they are made in this beautiful wool felt mix. And we've put it all together for you. So let's have a quick look at the book and meet the friends. It's only £12.99. which I think is really good. Is it really? Is it £12.99? Well, it's £15.99 on the back of here. £3 off. That's a bargain, isn't it? So this is £3 off the recommended retail price. £15.99 on other places that one could buy things from, like other shopping TV channels. £12.99 with us. Bargain. So, look, there are all the friends, and they've all got names as well. We've got to have a look at them all. So anyway, the book, if you know the Luna books, you'll know it goes through all of the information about the sort of fabric you need to use, all the stitches, the techniques, and there are common techniques and stitches used throughout, like slip stitch and ladder stitch, how to do gathering. And then what I love about these books is that they're reading books as well. So you can have these for yourself. There's a whole story. Luna waited nervously at the front door of the burrow she'd spent many happy years in as a young rabbit. And then there's a whole story all about her granny. Then this is how to make it. So we've got the dress. So in this pattern, she's got Luna is wearing her sailor collar dress. All the information how to make it. Lovely diagrams. Really, really clear. In the middle. There we are. Look at her beautiful sailor dress. A little bit of ticking. Then Luna and the wash day disaster. Rowan Redtail was full of mischief. Sure-footed and agile, Rowan had considered a career as a professional pickpocket. Well, I think that's... But I'm not sure that's a very sensible job aspiration, is it? But she was so nimble, had settled on being a tree surgeon instead. That's much better. So this is Rowan, and this is her wash day apron. But all of the clothes, this is the best bit about it, all the clothes in the book will fit any of the animals. So if you make Luna Lapin and you want her to have a wash day apron, you can make the apron from that. Look, it's like one of those lovely cross-body aprons that you can make in full sizes. Yeah, you and your Luna could have the same matching apron. Luna and the windmill. So which one is this? This is Ramsey, obviously Ramsey the ram. And he has got, there's his jumper. Ramsey's cargo pants. Oh, in corduroy. Oh, they're very nice. Look, I love this. Ramsey's backpack. Wouldn't that, see, if I made one of these, I would make the backpack for all of them. And I was having a look, I'm thinking this zip must be tiny, but it's not, it's a 4-inch zip. And then you use either felt or like a PVC or faux leather to make the backpack. Isn't that gorgeous? I really want one of those for me. Then we've got Luna meets the mare, and this is Daisy, Daisy the sheep, and she has a twirling dress. It's not a summer dress, it's called a twirling dress. So there's her dress. Then we've got Luna and the salty sea dog, Hugh Hounslow. So Hugh is one of the kits, the bundles that you can buy today that Cara's made for us here. Here, look at Hugh. He has jeans with turn-ups. He has a beautiful felt jacket. And look, isn't he beautiful? Look at the way Cara's made him. He's even got little epaulettes, that's the name, and pockets, and look, put buttonholes on him as well. And if we take his jacket off, let's undress him. Look, he's got amazing high-waisted, can you see, look at his high waist, he's so French, isn't he? High-waisted trousers and his little top. And look, he's even got a hole for his tail to go through. And a neckerchief. I think he's absolutely gorgeous in his little coat. I'll have to put his and his coat, he's even got a lining in it as well. He's so posh, isn't he? But remember, all of the animals, all the clothes will fit any of the animals. So if you wanted to make a coat for Luna, you could. I think if I made a coat for Luna, I'd do it in like yellow felt, look like one of those really posh raincoats then, wouldn't it? So that's Hugh, and all the information in there. There's his little top. There we go. Little turn-ups on his trousers. Oh, it's a pea coat. There's a pea coat. There's the information how to make his pea coat. I mean, it's like a proper coat. This isn't just like a toy coat. It's all made beautifully with facings and everything. and a bandana. Then we have Luna and the unexpected guest, who is Freya. Freya the fawn. My daughter's called Freya. I'm going to have to tell Freya that she has to be a fawn. But look, Freya the fawn has got, well, she's got a play suit on, but she has got an opera coat. Gosh, that's very posh, isn't it? But what I like, let's see if we get to that, is the satchel. Freya's music satchel. Look at that. That's so sweet. And look, it's got little lines of running stitch, like the leather bits on the strap. But you could make that for any of the animals. Now, and so it's funny, they started off with the clothes, and now we're going to do how to make the animals. So that's the sort of the second part. It's strange that they've gone that way around. So this is how to make Luna, all the information there's all the Luna, how to make Hugh, naked. So this is where they're naked before the clothes happen. Nude animals. How to make Rowan the squirrel. Squirrel. I wonder what they've used for the squirrel's tail, because that's really fluffy, isn't it? Faux fur. Just faux fur. A little bit of faux fur. How to make Daisy. Lovely pictures. The illustrations are really good. Then we've got Ramsay the ram, Freya the fawn. Nice close-up pictures. But then we have all of the body parts. And they are all actual size, thank goodness. So you don't have to do any of that enlarging business. But everything you need to know is on here. So you could either trace them or photocopy them and cut them out that way. But don't cut out the book, because then you won't have them anymore. And they're double-sided. But a bit of greaseproof paper, that's what I would use. But everything is labelled. They've all got the grain lines on. They're all 100%. All of the patterns. I mean, there's a lot of patterns in here, because obviously you've got all of the clothes and all of the animals as well. I mean, this is just, I cannot believe this is only $12.99. $12.99, and I think it's lovely that it's got all a little story. Each animal has its own little story. Freya's opera coat. So look, there it is. There's even the pattern for the music satchel. But remember, any of the clothes go with any of the animals. So that's the book. Beautiful. Get your hands on it while you can. We only have a certain number of these books. And remember, they are £3 cheaper than the retail price on there. So today we have got the materials pack to make Hugh in his pea coat and his jeans and his lovely high-waisted trousers, his top and his bandana. So in this bundle there is... You get one. Now this felt is a mixture between wool and viscose. So not your nylon felt. This is a nice quality felt. You've got a square of black for his nose. 6 fat 8. So you've got blue for the pea coat. You've got cream for his face and his soles of his shoes. You've got brown, which is for obviously all of his body. Then you've got denim for his jeans, and then you've got 2 stripes, one for the top and one for the bandana. And that stripe is also used in the lining of the coat as well. So that's everything you need. So I think it's lovely, the fact that you've got some cotton fabric that you need. You've got denim, you've got the felt. So it's all the different weights, and because it's only little pieces, it's not the easiest thing to find. And toy filling, which is here, does come in the kit as well. So, I mean, with the materials pack. But I think this is lovely, because I think trying to get the right colours, and because they're different sorts of fabrics and different weights, you would have to buy a lot more of this. If you were going to go online and buy it, you'd end up having to buy a ½ metre of everything. It would cost you. But for $19.99, that is everything you need to make Hugh. Right. We also have... Let me put Hugh back on his stand. We also have the Luna Lapin toy bundle. So Cara's going to... We haven't got her here at the moment because she's in construction, but Cara's going to be showing us how to make her. So we have the wool felt, a fat 1/8. Now that's obviously for Luna's body. Then we have this lovely floral print. Now that is used for the lining of her ears. Actually, Cara will tell us in a minute what they're all for. But that is, I think, mainly for the lining of her ears. This is for her dress, the red and white stripe. And then we've got the white fabric for the other part of the dress. But she'll talk us through what bit is used for what in a moment. So, oh, and the toy filling as well. And the toy filling, that comes in there. So for £13.49, you've got everything to make Luna and her dress. Now, if you have had a look through the book, you want to make multiple of these, you're wondering where you're going to get the felt, well, we have got the wool viscose felt by the ½ metre. If you want to make more or different ones, or you want to make one of the other ones. So the blue that we use for Hugh's pea coat, it's ½ metre, but I don't know what the width is. It's 1 millimetre thick, which is the felt that you need. No, that's wide. That must be 150, because that's half of it. So I think that must be, look, super wide. £5.99. Cut off the bolt, especially for you. That is very cheap, isn't it? £5.99 for ½ metre. Well, you make a lot. You can make loads and loads of pea coats with that, can't you? So £5.99, or any other craft makes you fancy, but £5.99 for ½ metre. Now we've got the same felt, same width. This is a very vanilla ice cream. It's a really yellowy cream, but it's perfect for lots of the animals and lots of the different features. You know, you don't have to make your Luna Lapin in grey, you can make it any colour. And you could use that colour for lots of the different ones. But that, again, ½ metre, £5.99. It's 150 centimetres wide, so that's a big piece of felt. We have also got the same felt in this lovely camely brown, which has been used for Hugh, but you could use for, well, any of the other animals, depending what colour you wanted. Fawn. So £5.99 for ½ metre of this one. And then finally, we have the grey, which has been used for Luna, but you could use for the sheep or the ram. ½ metre, really wide, 150 centimetres wide. And this is cut off the bolt. So if you want a metre, because you're going to make something different, put 2 units in your basket and you will be sent it as one whole piece. You won't be sent 2 ½ metres, you'll be sent a metre, for example. Because all our fabric, unless it's pre-cut and then we tell you, all our fabric is cut to order, so you will get the full length you need. Right. So, buttons. We do need buttons because there's lots of different parts of these animals that use all different sizes and shapes of buttons. So we've got 3 mixed packs for you. This is your primary colours. So, look at them. There's loads. I'm really glad I did that. But you see, what's good is while Cara's sewing, I'll put them all back in. But it's the only way you can really see. Look at them all different primary colours, different shapes and sizes and textures. For £5.99, you get, some of them are even not even round ones, different. But you've got green, blue, red, yellow, creams, all different sizes and shapes. But you know when you just want some primary colour buttons, but you don't want to buy lots of the same thing. That's a really nice collection. So that's the primary colour ones. It's Button Shop. Then we've got the pastel ones. It's when I mess up all the lids. These are called Brights. These are lovely though, aren't they? They're sort of pink and lime and pale blue. Look at that one. It's got sewing on it. That's unusual, isn't it? But lovely. So you've got massive ones and tiny ones. So this one's called Brights, but that's a lovely button collection. Not only for making Luna and her friends, but for lots of other things as well. Really nice to sew on cards. Now, that's that one. I'm not going to empty the white because they're white. But they are just like these, in that they're all different sizes and shapes, but they're all the same colour, so I'm not going to empty those. It'll be ages to put all those back. So if you just want white ones, I've got loads of these. I love these. I've got one of each of these at home. They're very good for the knitted project, so I need to have them to put onto my little knitted things. But they're all sort of colours of white and creams and ivories, and some are shiny and some are matte. But if you just need a lovely collection of buttons, I think for £5.99 you get a lot of buttons there, as you can see. Right. Cara, welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to the Luna Show.
did you say a Looney show?
No, not the Looney show. The Luna Lapin show.
I know. I'm so pleased that we've managed to get Luna.
Great,
I was
isn't it?
introduced to Luna on another shopping channel a long time ago, and I absolutely loved her. So it's just so nice to see her back. And Hugh.
And Hugh.
I know.
He's lovely. Who do you like best?
Oh gosh, you can't
No.
compare.
I
at
like
all.
his clothes.
I love the fact that in Sarah's books she has all these beautiful clothes, and they can be interchanged, and they really are like proper clothes.
Well,
you know, they've got
that
facings and
everything.
linings,
Amazing,
and
aren't they?
you know, buttons, and you know, you've got the buttons and poppers. I think that you should have some poppers somewhere.
We've got black poppers.
Yeah, which is really good. So they're easy for you know, children. We're not talking very young children, but you know, sort of the imagination of the children. When
Yeah,
they
I think
want
because
to
there's lots of
play
buttons and
around.
pieces, these aren't for very young children.
No, definitely
But
not.
for children who want to play
Yes.
and dress up and take them off and put different clothes on, they're perfect, aren't
Yes, and then create scenes, and I love the stories.
they? Oh, the stories are gorgeous,
You
aren't
know,
they?
so you know, the book is just so beautiful. So it was really good when I sort of found out that I was going to do Luna.
So you've made Hugh.
I've made Hugh, and there's lots of component bits to Hugh, but the technique and the body and everything is very similar for all the animals. So
Okay.
all the characters. So what I was going to do was actually go through the construction of the actual characters, and then go through a little bit about the dress and everything.
Okay,
for
because I did
Luna.
say that you would explain to us which
Yes.
different fabrics are used
Yes.
in which kits. So where do you start?
Right, you start at the beginning for transferring your pattern, and I know you said grease-proof paper, anything. You know, I think there's on the website. There's actually paper that you can trace, pattern paper, is it?
Oh yes, yes.
So that sort of thing is really good. I've had some tracing paper, a tracing paper pad. So I actually traced everything on. And the one thing I wanted to sort of just explain a little bit is that you'll see that some of the pieces have dotted lines and some don't. So, you know, you may think, oh, you know, why have some got seams and others haven't got sort of like a seam allowance? So if you look at these ones, you'll see that Luna, for the ear, you've got a dotted line going all the way round, and then for Luna, for her body, there isn't a dotted line. And you might think, why is there not a dotted line? And the reason is that a lot of the actual characters are hand sewn if you want to. You don't have to, but if you want to, they're hand sewn. So you don't need a seam allowance as such.
Right, okay.
Because I'll show you how you can do that. Should you not want to hand sew them, and I'll show you 2 different stitches for hand sewing. Should you not want to hand sew them, then all I would say to you is either, you know, use this as it is, or just add a little bit extra around the edge that hasn't got the dotted line, and then that can be your seam allowance, if you like.
Yeah.
So there are options. So, you know, one is you stitch it as it is, hand stitch it, and the other option
And does it
is,
tell you in the book both ways?
I don't think it does. I think it just says one way, and actually, you know, people sort of think, oh, hand stitching, am I going to be able to do it neatly enough? Am I going to be able to do it, you know, fine enough? And it really is quite easy.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, I'll show you how to do that. But as I say, I just wanted to explain to you why some of them have a dotted line going all the way around and some of them don't. And that's the reason
There is
why.
a whole purpose
there is
behind
a reason
Sarah
why.
working all of that out.
Yes, definitely. And it's all worked out for you, which is wonderful.
Nice,
so,
isn't it? Because
yeah.
you don't want to work that out for yourself.
So once you've done that, I've actually written on the pattern pieces as well how many of each that I want. And because
Right.
it's felt, there's not a right and a wrong side of felt.
Nice, which is
and
handy.
also there's not sort of a what's the word I'm looking for? My words have gone completely today. But
Sounds like...
you don't have to have it in one direction.
It's non-directional.
No,
Well,
but it's just the weave.
It's
you
because
know?
it's not woven.
It's not woven.
Because when it's woven, it has a grain.
Exactly,
but
it's grain.
grain,
It
but
hasn't got a
there's-
grain.
there has
So
no
the felt-
grain.
That's what I wanted, grain.
Grain. We knew we'd get there in the end.
Yeah, one day.
Sounds like strain.
So there isn't a direction on the felt because of the way that it's manufactured. It's sort of matted threads and fabric together.
That's really useful. So you get a lot.
You do. So don't worry. You know, you think, oh, a fat eighth, but you saw how wide that fabric was.
It's really wide,
it's
isn't it?
huge. So, you know, don't worry.
So you had
that
more
you're not
than
going
enough
to,
then?
Yeah, I had more than enough.
Oh,
I had
good.
this left over. And in fact, I think I had a full, did I have a full half metre? And I could get 2 from a half metre.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, if you're buying the fabric on its own, that half metre goes a huge way. So you will actually then pin your pattern pieces onto the felt, and there's no need to go like that because the felt is non-directional and hasn't a grain. You don't have to do that. So you can actually pop your pattern pieces onto the felt and then you'll cut them out, okay? So that's your next stage.
And does it say on the pattern what to cut out of what fabric?
Yes, yeah. It's very, very clear because each of the characters, you were saying the characters appear at the back of the book, and each of the characters, you get information about how to make each of the characters on their own.
Right.
Which is lovely. So, you know, you can then choose the garments that you want to actually make for those items.
And it's all sort of colour-coded in the book as well, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Different sections.
Which is lovely.
I think Sarah's done an amazing job. She's very talented, Sarah Peel, isn't she?
Very, very talented.
I mean, beautiful. And it is nice that it is all colour-coded, makes it easy, and all the stories.
Yes.
She's a toy genius.
So I've got all my pattern pieces here. And you can see, so this is Luna. So this is what you need for Luna. So I've got 4 pieces for my arms, 4 pieces for my legs, 3 for the body, 2 of each. So you were asking about the different fabric.
Yes.
So the felt is all for Luna's body and her arms and her legs and her ears, but you only have felt for one side of her ears. The other side is lined.
I think that's so nice, isn't it?
Yes.
So cute.
Yes.
In the floral print as well.
So that's in the floral print, and also what she suggests, so if you want the ears of Luna to stand upright, pop some iron-on interfacing on the back of the cotton fabric, and that's really good for making sure that the ears are standing upright.
But if you want floppy ears?
If you want floppy ears, then you don't have to put the iron-on interfacing. But I think the beauty about Luna, and seeing lots of Luna's friends on Instagram and things like that, is the character with the ears. It just gives them such a sort of cheeky look and everything. So, so that's the actual fabric. You'll cut 2 of the little round ones out of the pattern fabric again. That's for the soles of the feet. And then the red and the white is for the dress. So you've got the red stripes for the dress and the white for the collar.
And then the white for the feet?
No, the white for the feet. No, the white's just for the collar.
Oh, just the collar, so that's just for the dress?
The feet are in that.
Oh, in the floral?
You can, if you wanted to, you could put white on the inside of the ears and white on the feet. Yeah. But I think
the
she
floral
looks gorgeous with the floral, floral part. Okay, so you've cut out all your pieces. You put your pairs of legs and arms together. There are 3 panels for the body, but I'll show you that a little bit later. Your first job that you're going to do is actually machine round the ears. So we put right sides together, and as I say, there's not a right and a wrong side on the felt. So you'll put the right side of the cotton fabric to one side of the felt, and then you pin those together, and this is where you're going to machine. So that pattern piece I've got here.
That does have a seam allowance.
That does have a seam allowance on it. I can't find it at the moment, but it did have a seam allowance on it. And don't worry if your, the cotton fabric is a little bit bigger. When I cut that out, I've just realised that I've cut it out a little bit bigger because you can trim it afterwards. Yeah. So on the machine, I'm going to just show you how you can machine the pattern pieces together. So I've chosen a thread that tones with the actual felt. Normal stitch length, so this one is 2.4. If you wanted to, you could go down in stitch length and go to 2.2, which is sometimes quite good when you're doing toys and things like that, because you want the seams to be very close and tight. So we'll pop the needle down and then we'll just machine about 1/4 of an inch from the edge, roughly, don't worry, there's no sort of real reason that if you're a little bit more than that or less than that, it just makes your character a little bit smaller or bigger. And then just go around the edge, and you can see how quickly you can actually take the pieces together, which is lovely. So once you've done that, with curves, it helps when you're turning to actually, I think I've got my pinking shears. If you've got some pinking shears, you can just pink round the edge. You want to get as close to the stitches as possible, but not too close. So
just to make it easier to turn through.
Yeah, and well, just the curves, just helps the curves go nice and smoothly. So, whoops. Okay, so we just trim those. So I've got 2, do the other one as well. And as I say, the interfacing is lovely for making sure that the ears stand upright. And pop that the other way.
So if you don't have any pinking shears, we do have them on the website.
Yeah, and
should
you
always
can
have a pair of pinking shears.
just trim it on. If you don't have pinking shears, then you can actually just clip into the curves to make sure
But
that
they're just
they
so
go round.
useful, aren't they?
They really are. I
I
love
my
had
pinking
about
shears.
3 pairs that weren't very good.
Oh, really?
So I asked Santa if I could have a new pair for Christmas. So I had
Oh,
a new
that
pair
was
for
very
Christmas.
kind of him.
It was very kind. It was
I think
really
you can
useful.
sharpen them. I don't know how easy it is.
No.
But,
So I'm afraid I don't think we've got needle grippers on there, because as soon as you get them on the website, I think they sell out.
okay.
So I've still got mine at the moment, so I'm sorry, but it does help you if you can get hold of some, or if you've got some at home. It really does help you when you're turning the toys through. So you'll actually go through, pinch the cotton fabric. I do it with the cotton fabric, not with the felt, because what you don't want to do with felt, you can pull, because
and
it's
it
not
pulls the
woven,
fibres, yes.
you can pull it apart slightly. And then you'll lock that in and then just pull that through.
Or you just have to turn them inside out.
Or you just turn it inside out. Yeah, there's lots of different ways. And I think you've got other turning tools as well, which could be used. So
Yeah, just to poke out the edge. Just
Yes.
be really careful, because if you use scissors.
yeah. I use my trusty, definitely lost the plot, my trusty
Chopstick.
chopstick. I was going to say cocktail stick.
Cocktail stick.
It's all right, I haven't been drinking, honestly.
No, I don't think she has, anyway.
And then just turn that through. I should have
Not on a
done.
Monday morning.
Oh no,
Not on
definitely
a Monday
not.
morning.
Definitely not. Been having strange dreams recently. Really strange
Have
dreams.
you?
Yes. And it sort of, you know how you have a dream and you wake up and you think, was that real? You know,
the
and it was
relief.
so.
I wake up
Yes.
sometimes with absolute relief that
Yes.
it didn't happen as well. I think, oh,
Yes.
thank goodness for that.
So what you can do is use the end of the needle grippers and just smooth out the point, or use your chopstick
Or your turning tool.
or your turning tool or a pair of scissors, but try not use too sharp scissors. But you want that to be turned through like that. And then what you'll do is you'll do a little running stitch down about 2/3 of the length of the ear. And you want your running stitch to be that the stitches don't show on the outside. And that just helps hold those 2 pieces of fabric
Oh, okay.
together. And then you'll fold that in half. As I say, I should have done a locking stitch at the bottom. Pop a little pin in there and do the same with the other one. And then you'll take the head. So we have the head here. Okay. And you will, I'll show you in the book. As I say, the instructions are so good.
I like all the illustrations.
Yes,
that
they're
they have.
beautiful, aren't they? So each of the characters, so it's the pink area, goes through. So here we have Luna. So what we've been doing the ears, and there's your running stitch, and she'll explain everything very, very clearly in all the instructions there. And then you'll take your head, or your Luna head, and you'll take your ear, and now this is the important bit, to use the diagram that's here to make sure that your ears are facing the right way.
Yes. What? So the floral is facing front.
Yes. So take one of your heads.
I really like the mixture of the felt with the floral. It works
It's
really
beautiful,
well together,
isn't it? Yeah. Take your felt and you'll pop that on the dart. It's like an open dart there, and then fold that over so you've got all your raw edges together, and pop a pin in to hold that. And this again, if you like hand stitching, you can do a back stitch line. So for any of the other seams, so the seam around the ear or anything, you can do back stitch. So she does explain that in the book. So, you know, that's an option if you don't want to get the machine out every time.
Right, okay, yeah,
you can
just
do
those little things.
Yes, yeah. So you'll actually place the ear in that position. And as I say, it's really, really important to just follow those that diagram there. And then once you've done both of the ears, you'll put the head, and this is wrong side together because we're actually going to be stitching the outside of the head. And I'll just pop a pin in there. So I'll do the same with the other ear. And you'll go all the way round and you'll stitch from the neck around the front of the face, all across where the darts are and the ears are, and all across the back down to the other side, and you'll be leaving the neck open. In true Blue Peter fashion.
That's amazing.
I have one. I thought you wouldn't want to sit and watch me hand sew, although I love hand sewing and I can hand sew all day if I wanted to. I thought just to sort of show you, this is what your Luna's head will look like once
very
it's
neat.
stitched. So you've got your the stitching all the way round, and this is where the ears stand up beautifully. Can you see?
They really do. It gives a real sort of like the look on a face. It's like alert, isn't it?
Yes, and
slightly
you know, you
mischievous.
can play around with when you're putting the eyes on and things like that. So then the head will be stuffed and you'll leave that part open. Okay, so that's how you construct the head. Later on we'll actually attach a couple of buttons either side, and if you've got a needle that will actually pass through the head, you will pull that slightly and it will indent the side of her
to give
head.
a bit of shaping.
So give a bit of character to her, even more character. And I just love the buttons. There must be a name for somebody who's obsessed with buttons. I absolutely love buttons and I have so many at home. And I lost it one year and couldn't find my button box, and I was devastated that it was behind something. So anyway, so you can choose a button all from the button.
I love that. I cut things if I send clothes to a charity shop. I always cut
take
all
the buttons off.
Well, no, not if I'm going to a charity shop, because that's a bit mean, isn't it? No, if I'm throwing clothes out, really old clothes, then I always cut the buttons off first.
Yeah, because you never know. You never ever know.
So I'm sorry if you go to a charity shop, you buy a shirt.
So if you go to a charity shop where Rebecca lives and you pick up a gorgeous garment and there's no buttons on it, you know the reason why.
Yeah, come out my house, they're in my button box. But the buttons you can always keep, because they're lovely, aren't they?
I love buttons. So I had fun sort of for a few minutes just going through my button box and choosing a button. And I thought this grey button would look really nice for Luna. So I've got a couple of the grey buttons there. They want to be quite small, so she does give you the size, so 3/8 of an inch or 10 millimetres for the eyes, and then you'll want 2 more for the arms, and I'll show you how those go together as well. So that's the head basically. So the next part I wanted to show you was the different ways of stitching by hand, and I'm going to do them actually with a dark thread, so that I hope Jo might be able to get in quite close and be able to see the stitching. So I would normally choose a thread that was very similar to the actual colour of the felt, and what we're going to do is we're going to leave a gap, and this is a gap for turning and for stuffing. But once you've actually stitched around the edge, and if it's quite a small stitch, you don't have to turn that. So that's the beauty about actually stitching from the right side.
So, yeah, so you do have to hand sew this then?
it's recommended.
Well, it probably lays flatter, doesn't it, than if you machine sewed it
Yeah,
and turned
you'd
it
have
out.
the thickness of, 2 layers of felt on your seam. So if you can hand stitch it, is, and as I say, I just love, you've prepared everything and then you can sit down and you can just sort of, it's very therapeutic.
And actually,
because it just repeats.
the stitches sort of sit within the felt anyway.
They
don't they? So they
do.
sort of disappear more than if you doing it with just a cotton fabric.
Yeah, so I've just used a single strand of the actual normal sewing thread, the polyester one, and you're going to do a little stitch, and that's about the distance that you want, about 1/8 of an inch. You don't want to do it any close to the edge because, as we say, with the construction of the felt is sort of matted fibres together, if you like. So if you do it too close to the edge, there could be a tendency for it to just pull apart. And then you're just going to do, I need this closer to me. Can I lift it up? Oh, sorry. There you go.
But in the front of the book, there are diagrams of all these stitches as
Yes.
well, aren't there? So if you're not sure how
Yes.
to do
So
that, that's quite useful, isn't
as
it?
I say, you're going to be just doing an overstitch and try and keep it the same distance from the edge, and just get those two edges nice and neatly together, and that's how you'll stitch it with just this diagonal stitch. Right, the other alternative is a blanket stitch. So a blanket stitch, you'll go from the front, your needle will actually go around or in the loop of thread at the back, and then you'll pull it up. So in at the front, and again make sure that your needle passes that way through rather than at an angle. You want it to go vertically down through the felt so that the front and the back of the felt, because you're going to be seeing it, are the same, the stitches are the same. So through the front, I've made these a little bit bigger so you can see them. And it makes a feature of them.
Use?
I just use the overstitch. Okay. But this is quite nice because it's a decorative. I think it's a decorative, and it makes her look more handmade, which I think is
I
nice.
See what you mean. I mean, she does really say, nice. Sarah does say in the book you can use either of them.
Yes.
But I suppose you could use different ones for different seams as well.
Definitely, definitely. So that's your blanket stitch, and you can see there's a line of thread just across the top there. Okay. This one is one that I've done, and I've done with the diagonal stitches in matching thread, and you can hardly see them.
Beautiful.
And where on the arm there's sort of like a little thumb, I suppose, and you can do a longer stitch there to make more of a shape to the arm, and we'll leave that gap, and that gap's there for stuffing. And when you come to stuff, you'll put the stuffing in, and the stuffing is gorgeous, really, really lovely for doing something like this. And just take a little bit of stuffing, pull it apart a little bit, open your seam.
Did you use the whole, do you need the whole bag?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not
so
at
you'll have
all.
plenty left over if you wanted to make
Definitely.
another one.
I've got, I opened a new bag for Hugh, and I've got loads and loads
so
left
you could
over.
probably make 2 or 3 then.
Yes, definitely. So then we'll just pop the stuffing in there and do it at either end of the arm. And you can use your thumb to push the stuffing. You don't want it really, really soft, but you don't want it too firm, because we're going to attach the arms to the side of the body. So you want to be able to pass a needle through it. So that's why I say you don't want it too firm. So you'll stuff both sides of that, and then when you stuff both sides, you'll take some more thread, and as you're stuffing it, you'll actually start stitching and do your overstitch again to close the edge. So this is all been stuffed now, and I've got all my stitching all the way around. And
It's
that's
very
just
neat.
the
It's very
overstitch.
neat.
Well, thank you very much
It's very
indeed.
neat.
You get into a routine
Yeah.
and a habit, well, not a habit, but a rhythm, that's the word.
And I guess it's nice that you can sit in front of the telly and do that. bit, can't you?
Definitely. So that's how you'll make your arms. You'll use a similar technique to make the legs. With the legs, you're actually going to start about a couple of centimetres above the start of the foot, and you'll do your overstitch or your blanket stitch around the edge there. You're going to leave that part of the foot open and then go all the way up the back of the leg, and you'll think, why am I doing that? I've got this whole seam open. And the reason why you do that is that you're going to turn this through
Okay.
to put the cotton fabric for the bottom of the foot. So we'll just turn that through.
Oh, I see.
So
'cause
your
you've got
right
to sew the
side-
seams on to be able to get the
Yeah.
sole on.
So your right side is actually on the inside
Yeah.
of the leg. And then you'll take your cotton fabric, okay, and right sides together. And the shape of the cotton pad is slightly narrow, and this is the back of the foot, and it's bigger at the front of the foot. And what I would suggest is mark a halfway point. So just fold that in half, and then if you mark your halfway point at the top and the bottom of this pad, that matches the seams on the leg. So you'll then, and this can take a little while, you match the halfway mark with the seam there, and then I recommend using a lot of pins. So pop a pin in at that side, pop a pin in the other side, and it will fit. You think, oh my gosh, there's loads of fabric there. But actually, this is where the construction of the felt is really good, because you can just pull the felt slightly, and you'll
make
be
it fit
yes,
nicely.
you'll make
Yeah.
that fit, and you'll, as I say, pop quite a few pins in there to help you, and then you'll take that to the machine and you'll machine all the way round. I want to try and cover as much of the construction as possible, so I have done some that I prepared earlier.
You've got about 10 minutes left.
I know, that's what I'm thinking, so I want to cover as much as I can. So that's roughly
But all of there's really nice diagrams and instructions for this in the book.
very,
isn't there?
very clear instructions. Then you'll machine that, and I actually found that it was easier to machine it from the top, and you'll machine all the way around. So you'll machine that cotton fabric onto the felt. Once that's actually attached, then you'll turn your foot all the way around and pull the foot out so you've got the pad, and then you'll start actually sewing the leg together again. And if I show you here, so that's when you've turned it all the way round.
That's really sweet, isn't it?
And then you'll start stitching there, and then start putting your stuffing in and start pushing it right to the end of the feet. And again, you want it firm but not too firm.
Not sort of pulling it too much.
You want it sort of cuddly as well. So you'll do both of your legs like that, and then you'll fold the legs so the seams at the front and the back meet. You'll also leave about about a centimetre or so unstuffed at the top, because then you're going to attach it to the body. So you'll fold those, and you've already sewn the body. So I've done the body with my little stitches again, and you'll pop that on the inside, and then right sides again together. So right sides of the legs to the right side of the body, and this is the tummy of Luna, and so your legs will fit either side, and you'll match the seam there with the side of the leg there and the side of the leg there, so there's a little bit of a gap in between. Okay, and then you'll just baste that together, so just on your machine or just tacking stitches, and then you have the base of Luna, and when you've cut that out, you've actually marked 3 points on there, and that matches the 3 seams on the base there. So again, when you've sewn the back together, you've already left this open so that you can get the legs in.
So it's all been thought through.
Yes.
For
you don't
the
have
order
to.
in which you're doing for stuffing and everything.
Yeah. So again, we'll just match the marks with the seam. So if you can see that there. Pop a pin in, and then the back seam. What I love as well is that if you've got some white wool, you can make a little tail, a pom-pom tail for Luna, which I think
that
is
would be
lovely.
nice.
I didn't have any white wool at home, otherwise.
Does it say, does she suggest
Yes,
that?
yes, she suggests that. So.
Oh, you should have asked. Got loads of white wool.
I know. So we'll pop the pins in. Now I can spend a bit of time and machine this, or I can carry on and explain about the dress.
Yes.
Do you want me to explain about the dress?
We've only got about 5 minutes.
Yes.
So,
So,
but that's really explained the body, because you've shown us sort of the tricky bits and the fact that it all does fit, and
it does all
nice
fit.
to see as well how to do the hand stitching.
Yeah, it's lovely. You can see this circle fits really, really
Yeah,
nicely around there. So then you'll machine all the way around there and then turn everything through. And then you'll again start stuffing from the bottom and start then stitching up the back there. And you'll actually then enclose all the stuffing in, and you'll be ended, I can't really show you there, but you'll be ending with a point. So imagine this is all stitched.
Yes.
Like that. Okay, so that's going to be roughly what your body is going to look like once it's got all the stuffing in. And you've got quite a point on the body there. And then what happens is that Luna sits, that open part of Luna sits over the point of the body.
And so that keeps the head quite still.
Yes, and then pin that, and then you'll use a ladder stitch to actually stitch that on. You'll tuck under the excess felt around the neck, and then you'll ladder stitch. And if it's for a child to be playing with a lot, then I would go round quite a few times to make sure that the head is nice and secure. But you can see there how the structure is coming together.
Beautiful.
And once the body's stuffed and everything, you'll pop the arms on at the side and then grab another button. And I got a bigger button, and you will stitch that through.
Oh, that's
the
nice. So
actual
again, it
body.
gives it a bit like you were talking about the blanket stitch. It gives that real handmade
It
look.
definitely
doesn't it?
does. It definitely
With the buttons
does.
for the arms.
So I hope that's explained a little bit about
Yes,
Luna.
it's been brilliant.
And
Wonderful.
then I will just quickly run through.
So the dress is at the beginning. It's got a nice name, hasn't it? What's the dress called? Sure, I thought it had a nice name. Yeah, it's a sailor dress.
It's lovely.
Sailor
Really,
collar
really
dress.
nice. And I just love all the little details and everything. So you have a sailor collar, and you cut two pieces out. Then you'll machine.
It looks like rabbit's ears.
Then you'll machine all the way round. You've already attached the front and the back of the bodice together and press the seams open. And then you'll see how easily that fits within that space there. And then you'll have a facing for the...
I mean, it is lovely that Sarah says in the book how the clothes are all tailored.
They are
They're not
definitely
just
tailored.
dolls' clothes,
No,
are they?
definitely
They're miniature
tailored.
real clothes.
They really are. And then you'll pop the facing on, make sure that your ties are out of the way, and then you'll machine all the way down and all the way up around there, like that. And then your sleeves, you just do the raw edge, do with a zigzag stitch, very, very deep hem on the sleeve.
Oh,
because
they've got nice little turn-ups.
You're going to actually have some cuffs for the sleeve, so when you attach it, you'll be attaching it like this. And then the sleeve will fit into the armhole, and you've got marks on the armhole. So you've got 2 marks at the back, 1 mark at the front, and then a mark halfway round. And then you'll match all those marks to the actual bodice. So here, and again, right sides together, you'll match those marks. And don't worry if you've got a little bit of a gather. I think it's quite nice to have a little bit of a gather,
Yeah, a
you
little
know,
pleat
so
on
you
the
can
top of it.
actually
It's a
sort of
beautiful
pop it
dress.
round like that. And then the skirt itself is just very straightforward. Your short edges are neatened, and then you'll do 2 lines of gathering stitches. So that's long stitches on the machine, 2 parallel lines of those to gather the skirt up. And you'll gather that up so it fits once the bodice is all attached
It's a
together.
nice full skirt as well, isn't it?
Oh, it's lovely. And then you can play around with buttons and poppers, or if you want to do buttonholes, you can do. But I played around and I loved sort of using the different colours. So I think one of the pots,
in the book she's got like red and blue buttons on here, but it's nice to do that, isn't it?
it's really, really nice. So you can play around with that a bit more. The hem is turned up quite a way, and then you can add some ribbon. So you can take one of
it's
these.
a little trim around the bottom.
Yes, so you can have your
And we've
ribbon
got some
going
ribbon.
round.
Oh, that's nice. It's nice ribbon. That goes
That's
beautifully with the
gorgeous,
dress,
isn't
doesn't
it?
it?
It's absolutely perfect. So that will be how you would complete the skirt.
That's been great.
So I'm so sorry. I wanted
I
to do
know.
a bit more stitching,
No,
but
that's
I
fine.
knew that, you know, it's quite
Yes,
informed.
but the
so
book is very comprehensive.
It really
and you've shown
is.
us the trickiest bits, and you know the sort of the close up. I think of the hand sewing is really important. That's been lovely.
good.
So Sarah Peel, who's written the book, if you go onto her, is it her Facebook page? She has got links to some YouTube videos as well of her making them if you need any extra help at all. Loads of you have sent in pictures of your own Lunas,
Oh,
and too many for us to show all of them,
wow.
but we're going to just show you just a few.
Oh my gosh.
Rebecca and Cara, here are my
Three hues, looking very different by using different fabrics and eyes and noses. Carol of Warminster.
They
They
are-
are beautiful.
Oh, Carol, they're beautiful. I love them.
They look so different.
They do,
don't
don't
they?
they? Just
They
with
really do.
different
And
fabrics.
is that middle one, is it knitted? Don't know if I can see. I can't see from here.
And they've got wellies.
Hunter wellies.
Of
Ooh,
course.
And other wellies are available.
Yes, but of course they have wellies.
Oh, they are gorgeous. Oh, Jeanette,
from
they're
Jeanette.
lovely. Look at that.
And they're all on the sewing machine. Of course they are.
Ah, love
Probably
it.
her sewing machine buddies.
I think what's lovely is once you do one, you want to do the other
'cause
characters.
they're
And as I say,
friends.
for an older child to play with, they can
Yes,
role play
yeah.
and things. Jeanette, they're gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Here is a photo of the Luna Lapin that I made last year for my granddaughter. She absolutely loves it. I bet she does. Oh, I remember as a child, I loved being able to do all the dress up and take them off and
Yes,
put different clothes on them. But
definitely,
these are just real
definitely.
heirloom.
And they
pieces,
really
aren't
look
they?
lovely, don't they, when they're sat and they're
Yes,
stood.
yeah,
so,
they look lovely. Really
yeah,
nice.
Excellent.
Oh, look at that one. I love Luna and Friends. Sarah's book is
So easy to
delightful
follow,
patterns that
yeah.
are easy to follow more. Oh, look at that.
Look at the frock on that.
Beautiful. So if you've already got a Luna, you'll need this book to make more clothes.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so we still do have some more. Oh, we've got more pictures. Here is my Luna and Alfie. Sarah does such lovely animals and the patterns are easy to follow. I hand sew mine
Oh,
too.
Janet, that's
Janet Gateshead.
lovely. Look at the matching outfits. They look
They're
like they're
going
going
out,
out,
aren't they?
Definitely,
They're going to the
going
theatre.
out.
Out.
Yeah.
not just out. Finally, Rebecca, here are a couple of Lunas I made. Such a joy to do. Great demo by Cara.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for all of your pictures, everyone. And I'm sorry that we haven't been able to show all of them.
Oh, share them on Facebook.
But we'll put them all onto the Facebook. So if you go onto the Sewing Street fan page, you'll be able to see all the pictures on there anyway. So you'll be able to see them there. Because we just couldn't show them all on there. But they are all on the fan page, so you can see them there. So the book. Again, remember the book. £12.99, so it's £3 off the retail price, which should be £15.99. So it's brand new to us today. It's got Luna and all of her friends. It's written by the wonderful Sarah Peel, who has just done the most fantastic job. She's obviously spent a lot of time. She's really thought this through, you know, and as Cara was saying, when you put them together, you think, well, that never fit. Yes, it does, because she's worked it all out. They are beautiful. I mean, they are heirloom toys, but toys that you can actually play with, although I know a lot of you don't use them as toys, they just make them for yourself. Pop them around your sewing room and in different places. But this is a beautiful book, and it's got little stories in it as well. And what I love is that everything is explained very clearly to you. So it's got stitch guides. So if you've never done an overstitch or a whip stitch, it's all in there. And then all the different clothes. The clothes can be worn by any of the animals. You can mix and match them. And if you've got previous Luna books, you can join them all together. But the patterns at the back, I think, are lovely because they're all 100%, and that's really important. I know obviously there are a lot of books where they aren't because you can't fit them all in, and it's the best way to do it, but it's nice that they are 100%, but it's the backpack pattern. That's my favourite. I want to make one of those, just don't know what to do with it. Just really want to have a little backpack. It's so sweet. But everything you need to know is in here. Look at all of them there. Naked animals. So you've got a sheep and a ram, and Hugo the dog, Luna the Lapin, Freya the fawn, and the squirrel. And I can't remember what the squirrel was called. Is it Rosie? What was the squirrel called? Can't remember now. And I did talk about all of them when I went through the... Oh, I'll have to wait till I get to... Rowan. Of course, she's called Rowan. But aren't they lovely? They look so different without their clothes on. Funny that. But they do look really different. But aren't they lovely? And if you want to buy one of the bundles, now the great thing is that these fabrics are quite specific, not the easiest thing to find all the different pieces you need, but we've put them together for you. So for Luna, we have got 4 fat-eighths, so a fat-eighth of this wool viscose mix felt, which is perfect for making them and is the right colour if you want to make a grey rabbit. So you've got a fat-eighth of that. You've got a fat-eighth of this lovely floral print. Now that has been used for Luna's ears and feet and loads more besides. So actually what you could probably do with the rest of it, you'd be able to make another one of the items of clothing in the book easily. You could probably make, I would think, the apron. You know, that crossover, cross-back apron. She would look lovely with that, wouldn't she? So, you know, I think because if you're going to make these, particularly make them for someone who wants to be dressing them in different things, you would have enough left over to do that. You've got a fat-eighth of the red stripe fabric, which is used for her lovely sailor dress, because it does say in the book you need to use a stripe or a ticking fabric. So you've got a fat-eighth of that, and then obviously you need the white for the sailor collar section, and that's for that. Oh, and a whole bag which is enough, as Cara said, to make several toys, more than 2, probably 3 or 4. But it is beautiful quality. We do a lot of toy making different things on Elm Sewing Street, and actually we did some toys with the North One Yarn Lane last week, and even she said this is beautiful quality and really ideal for toys, because it's important when you're stuffing toys, if you use a less quality stuffing, you get lumps and bumps. And they look not very professional, but if you use a decent quality, and this is a lovely quality stuffing, it does make a difference to your toy makes, but just use little pieces at a time. So that's the Luna bundle. Then we have the Hugh bundle for making, look, isn't he just gorgeous in his pea coat and his stripy top and his denim trousers. In this bundle, you get 6 fat-eighths, so you get the blue for his coat, you get the brown for his body, and the cream is for the nose and the bottom of his feet, and then the black is for his nose. That's just a square, but look, that's just for the nose. You get quite a lot of that. You can make several noses with that. Then you get the denim for his jeans, and then you get a blue stripe which you can use for his top, and a black stripe for his bandana, and also the coat is lined in the blue stripe because it's all got facing, because these aren't just toy clothes, these are proper tailored clothes with linings and facings and buttonholes and pockets, so they're just miniature versions of real clothes. And that, all of that, including the toy stuffing, is $19.99, because it is difficult. These are different fabrics, they're different weights, different sort of things, but they're everything that you need to make you. Now, if you want to make some of the other animals from the book, if you've bought the book and you think, well, I like that felt, or if you've got any of the other books, we have got some of this lovely quality felt. We've got grey, it's 1/2 metre, but it is 150 centimetres wide. It's a really wide, so you can make a lot of animals from the 1/2 metre £5.99, which I think is amazing value for such a good quality felt. You'd think that would be more. We've got the brown, which is this sort of camel-y colour, which is ideal for, obviously, Hugo was done in him, parts of the fawn are done in him, but, you know, a real nice basic animal colour. We have got the cream. It's a lovely sort of vanilla, it's custard cream. More of a, yeah, it is a custard. Oh, I love a custard cream. It is the colour of a custard cream. And then we have the blue, which is like a sky blue, which has been used for Hugo's pea coat. But obviously you can use that for other things. So £5.99, half a metre. It's a wool viscose mix. So it's a really nice quality felt. Oh, yes, it is now 10:05. So we've run over a bit. So we will see you back in at 11.
Yes, with one of Debbie Shaw's
beautiful Debbie Shaw bag.
Yes.
So thank you so much for showing us all of
That's
that.
okay.
And we will see you back in just under an hour.
Yes.
And I will see you in a couple of minutes for more fabric. If you love blue fabric, don't go anywhere.
Hello everyone, my name's Cara Ackerman and I'm absolutely delighted to be here at Sewing Street. I actually originated from Hertfordshire, then went down to Hampshire and then it ended up in the East Midlands. I've been in the East Midlands for about 40 years now, which seems crazy, but 36 of those I actually worked with DMC Creative World, which was wonderful. I really, really enjoyed that. And then I decided to go freelance and that's how I got introduced to Sewing Street. I love doing anything to do with textiles, so embroidery, cross stitch, patchwork, done a bit of quilting, bag making, toy making, oh goodness, there's loads and loads of things. What I love doing is just trying something new, and I think one of the tips is don't be frightened of trying something new. You always learn from it, and you know, don't be scared of making mistakes either. We all learn from the mistakes that we make. Little bit about me that you might not know and that's a bit of a surprise. I once went to the garden party down at Buckingham Palace, the Queen's garden party, for some work that I did with Marie Curie. I was so lucky to go there and just a wonderful time. So I hope to see more of you on Sewing Street and I hope to try lots of new crafts with you. So see you again soon. Bye bye.
Have you heard about all of the different ways you can shop with Sewing Street and Yarn Lane? You can either shop on our websites sewingstreet.com and yarnlane.com. You can also order by phone by calling our friendly UK customer service team. For Sewing Street, call 0800 001 4433 and for Yarn Lane, call 0800 4700 600. And don't forget about the Sewing Street app. Here you can shop all of the Sewing Street products as well as watch the live shows from anywhere. You can download the app onto your smartphone or your tablet by simply searching Sewing Street in your app store. And one final thing, no matter how many times you check out on Sewing Street or Yarn Lane in one day, you will only pay one postage and packaging. Happy shopping!
Keep up to date with what's on Sewing Street and Yarn Lane, as well as all the latest news and special offers by signing up to our email newsletters. For Sewing Street, head on over to www.sewingstreet.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, type in your email address, click the envelope, and you're done. It's exactly the same for Yarn Lane. Head on over to www.yarnlane.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, type in your email address, click the envelope, and that's it. You are now subscribed to both Sewing Street's and Yarn Lane's email newsletters, so you'll never miss out on the latest news and special offers ever again.
While we're having to spend more time at home again, we're here to keep you busy and entertained. Sewing Street will be live every day from 8 a.m, bringing you plenty of demonstrations with our experts in dressmaking, quilting, bag making, toy making, needle felting, embroidery, and so much more. Our community of fellow sewists on the Sewing Street fans Facebook group are there to chat to you about whatever you're making, sharing photos and advice. Check out the Sewing Street Facebook and Instagram pages for fun competitions and offers. Have you heard about all of the different ways you can shop with Sewing Street and Yarn Lane? You can either shop on our websites sewingstreet.com and yarnlane.com. You can also order by phone by calling our friendly UK customer service team. For Sewing Street, call 0800 001 4433, and for Yarn Lane, call 0800 4700 600. And don't forget about the Sewing Street app. Here you can shop all of the Sewing Street products as well as watch the live shows from anywhere. You can download the app onto your smartphone or your tablet by simply searching Sewing Street in your app store. And one final thing, no matter how many times you check out on Sewing Street or Yarn Lane in one day, you will only pay one postage and packaging. Happy shopping!
And welcome back to Sewing Street. So after Luna and her friends, we're back to some more fabric. I love this fabric. It's called the Blue Bayou. Can't really pronounce that collection. I looked up what that is. It's a an inlet in a waterway. But that's what the fabric is called, Blue Bayou. It's really lovely. I love the shade of blue. It's a real Wedgwood blue, but you've got that kind of a lighter navy and that lovely chambray Wedgwood blue and white, but it's so fresh, isn't it? Doesn't that look beautiful? I don't even want to touch that because it looks so pretty. So in the bundle, you have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 half metres. What? Loads, isn't it? 12 half metres for, I can read now, £65.89, which means that you get 1/2 metre for free. Now, obviously, it's much better value to buy the whole bundle because you're getting 1/2 metre for free, but we are also selling it by the 1/2 metre each one as well, should you want to buy it individually or you want to buy more of one and have the bundle and buy some extras of some others. So, should we have a look at it? I'm going to look at the one that I think is the most impressive, my favourite one. I'm going to move that over. Now look at this one. So if you buy the bundle, obviously you get 1/2 metre of this. It's the normal 112 centimetre, 44 inch width quilting fabric. But isn't it gorgeous? So you can use this, look, make yourself a quilt, patchwork quilt, looks like you've done it yourself. The hexagons are all slightly moved apart, so you could quilt between the lines, or perfect for EPP. You could cut out each of the hexes with a paper hexie. I mean, how big are the lines, the sides, because that's important if you know what the face is. So they are 1 3/4 inches wide. So if you had 1 1/4 inch paper hexies, that'd be the perfect size. Then you can use those for making as hexies, or you can use it as a fabric. I mean, just with the 1/2 metre that you get in the bundle, perfect cushion, because 1/2 metre is like 20 inches, so you can make an 18-inch cushion. All you need, bit of wadding, make yourself a cushion, but price £5.99. £5.99 for designer fabric for 1/2 metre. That's a bargain, isn't it? I'm thinking whole patchwork quilt. But even using it for the backing. But if you wanted a quick quilt, measure your bed, work it out. Now, I was looking at this the other day, thinking about quilts, that whenever you try and look at a quilt size and how much fabric do you need to buy for a quilt, it's really, really tricky because it doesn't seem to be a standard size. So I'm working out at the moment, trying to work out how to do a quilt panel where we print everything for you. So I was working out the sizes anyway. And what it seems to be is that you need to measure your bed and then you add 12 inches to the bottom and the sides, and then you just have to decide whether you want it to go over your pillows or not. I decided I didn't. I prefer quilts that go up to, maybe just nip under the pillow by 5 inches. So what you have to do is you measure your bed, add 24 inches to the width, because that's 12 inches either side. Then you measure the length, add 12 inches to the bottom, and then the pillow, I worked it all out. Then you just take off 10 inches from the other end so that it just goes under the pillows. Anyway, if you work that all out with your bed, but sometimes it's better, rather than the actual bed measurement, if you've got maybe a thicker quilt, people have different thickness, duvets or blankets, measure over it. But that 12 inches is about the right drop. You can then work out how much fabric you need to make your own patchwork quilt. And honestly, I mean, isn't that beautiful? Or maybe just a bed runner, if you didn't want to go to all of that. To be honest, a ½ metre width like this, you'd need more to go over the whole length. So you'd probably need to get at least a metre so you could join together, make a beautiful bed runner or table runner. Imagine that down the centre of your table. That's lovely, isn't it? All you need to do, either hem the edges or bind the edges. I mean, I would put, if I was doing it for a table, maybe I'd put a bit of wadding on the back of it, maybe some of the insulated wadding so that you can put hot plates on. Quilt along these bits, or along the hexagons, bind the edges. That's so real sort of spring fresh. Perfect for picnic blanket. Wouldn't that make a lovely picnic blanket? Now, a picnic blanket is usually about 1.5 metres square, that sort of size. So if you work out how much you need. But again, you can quilt it, you could put a waterproof backing on it. If you buy, you can buy waterproof fabric to put on the backing. But you could also, if you buy a shower curtain, but it's got to be quite a decent shower curtain because the really cheap ones go funny in the washing machine. Has to be quite a decent one, or you can buy waterproof fabric, put that on the back. But that would make a beautiful picnic blanket, wouldn't it? It's very summery, this colour. Anyway, that's just the hexie. So if you buy the mega bundle, then you can make whatever you want because you save, you've got ½ metre for free. But if you want to buy the mega bundle, you think, well, I actually want a bit extra of that, or I want a separate, £5.99 for ½ metre, which I think is fantastic value. And all our fabric, I mean, obviously in the bundle, it has been pre-cut as ½ metres. But after that, if you want any of the fabric by ½ metre, we cut it to order. So we have the warehouse just over the road with all the ladies working in there, and they cut to order. So if you want 3 metres, write 6 units in your basket and we will send you 3 metres as a whole piece. So I don't know which order to do these because they're so lovely. So we'll just do them one by one. Shall I read do you need the code? This is a very, almost like forget-me-not blue with a blue scroll pattern on it. Really pretty. So this is the one that you use as your borders or your binding or your low volume sort of background fabric. That's the sort of one you do with that. Then, do we have this? Did we, I always thought we had that one in another print. That's the only one that's in that print because some of them, there's 2 colourways of the same fabric. So if we go, oh, I like these 2. They're lovely. Let's do the blue one first. Really like this colour. This is very like a chambray colour. Beautiful, beautiful blue. But they're dandelion clocks. Whole ones. Clocks. Whole ones. And individual ones that have come off. So it's like someone's blown it. There's the whole one. And then someone's blown that one. And then you've got individual ones that are flying off as well. That's beautiful, isn't it? So it looks just like, it's so pretty, isn't it? And I'm thinking, no, this is perfect for dressmaking. Remember, this is 100% cotton fabric. It's lovely quality. It is a designer fabric. And it is perfect for dressmaking. And in this sort of colour, it's lovely for the summer, isn't it? Now, we have the same fabric, same pattern, but in a different colourway. It's like the opposite, although the blue is different. It's like a navy blue. Isn't that one lovely? But it goes, I mean, obviously, the whole fabric collection goes together. But if we put those 2, isn't that lovely together? Let me just move everything. Look really nice together. So you've got the white. It's not bright white. It's a slightly off white. So it's got a bit more subtle with a real navy. And again, same whole clocks, part clocks, and then little bits. I don't know what they're, seeds. Seeds, that's what they are, that have come off the clocks. Right. Butterflies. Big butterflies. So this one is, again, you've got your creamy, well, right, this one, if you want this one by the half metre, we've only got 2 metres left because it was on pre-order and a lot of you have been buying. I love this. Look at the scale of it. Look at the size of the butterflies. They're like, it would, yeah, John Scott would definitely have a shirt with that on. He's having his hair cut today. Oh. Yeah, who was it? Carol earlier messaged in. She was watching from the hairdresser. Lucky Carol, because I was just checking. I booked my appointment and I thought, oh, I'm sure it's next week. And it's not. It's like 3 weeks. Oh, it's just too long. I was lucky though. I managed to get my hair cut on December the 30th. So just that little small window when you could. That's been ages. It's getting a bit long now. Isn't this lovely? Really like this one. That's only half of it. Because obviously I haven't opened it all up. But that's what it looks like. Isn't that lovely? Really, really nice fabric. But that one's about to sell out. But remember, it is in the bundle. The bundle isn't about to sell out, but if you want this just by the half metre, then that is about to sell out. But the bundle, we have less than 10 available, which I'm not surprised because it is beautiful. There is the same butterfly, but in the other way round. It's the day and night. In fact, what you could do is do the front of the shirt in one and the back of the shirt in the other. Look nice, wouldn't it? In fact, I love the idea. You often see with little girls' dresses, they'll do it so have the bodice in the light, but the same print, and do the skirt in the dark. But I think actually for adults it looks really nice for a lady's dress. Really pretty. So there, anyway, so that's the lighter butterfly, the one that we don't have very much left. And then the darker one. We've also got, in fact, most of these, I think except for that scrolly print, are in the 2 colourways. So we've got this one that looks like roses. Big, full-blown roses. But it looks almost like crackled china. It's only when you look up close you realise that they're roses. But when you go further away, it is like a sort of a crackled china look. But again, you know, this is, oh, that's lovely bit of camera work there, isn't it? I like that. Hasn't gone blurry or anything. No, that's very good. We've got Joe on the cameras today. Yeah, he's very good, isn't he? Does he? I didn't know that. Joe works for Antiques Roadshow. Well, I am impressed. He says, I didn't know Joe worked for. Did you know Joe worked for Antiques Roadshow? Well, oh, we'll have to start getting a few. How much is this worth then? This really vintage fabric, very vintage. How much is my dress worth? Do you think, Joe? Thousands. Thank you. I didn't know he worked for Antiques. Not a £4 pair of curtains then. I'm not going to tell them that when I go on Antiques Roadshow with it. Then we have the negative version, so you've got the lovely, but they're not like, because the background of the light one is the sort of chambray denim blue, but then this one is that sort of deep royal blue. But they do go beautifully together. So if you, I mean, everyone loves a blue and white quill, don't they? If you had the whole bundle, you can make a beautiful. Blue is the world's favourite colour. Who has done that survey? It's the most popular colour in what, though? Oh, right. So if you said to people, what's your favourite colour? Most people would say blue. I think that's because it's very calm, isn't it? Isn't it also something like to do with the colour you paint your front door? Is the sort of is your personality or the sort of person you are? And like if you have a purple front door, it means that you're very regal and a bit of an extrovert, because purple was the colour of the emperors. But I don't know what all the others mean, but I know that blue is very calming. Mine's green. Don't know what that means. What colour's your front door, Kath? Oh, Kat's got a brown plastic front door. I think that means you need a new front door. I think that's what that means. Oh, I think you need to paint it. So we've now got this Yeah, it is a bit, it's, what are they called? Is it hibiscus? Those Hawaiian flowers. Honestly, as you all know, probably know by now, I'm rubbish at birds and flowers, but it looks like that sort of thing. But these are perfect. So if you've got the bundle or you buy some half meters and you've got a little bit left, keep the offcuts because these are brilliant for fussy cutting. Because they're whole flowers, you can easily cut round them. Bit of applique. Oh, yeah. Oh, so what? Because I've got a green one. So if you have a green front door, your home is a place of health and safety and community. Nothing. What does a blue front door? Yeah, oh God, we learned so much about front doors. Prosperous and positive life is a royal blue front door. See, dark blue would be calm and grounded. Yes, see, blue is very calming, isn't it? And powder blue is friendly and sincere. I bet there are no negative things, are there? Well, I wonder if you've got a red front door. Oh, brown front door means you're warm and reliable and not... Oh, if you've got a dark brown door, you're introverted and private, not that you just need a new front door. That's probably why you're introverted and private, because you need a new front door. Then we've got the cornflower blue colour. So you've got the darker one and the lighter. Aren't they lovely? Am I confusing it? Anyway, if you get confused, because I have been showing all the different fabrics, I'm talking about doors as well. Yeah, drop us a message on the Facebook. Tell us what colour your front door is. Or what is your favourite colour? But it'd be interesting to see if everyone's was blue, if most people's are blue. I'm sure they are. Whenever we sell blue always sells best for us, doesn't it, in fabric and things. But if you get confused, if you go on to www.sewingstreak.com, click on Watch Live, scroll down. Should we show you so you can see? Because I'm sure I've probably confused everybody now. Click on Watch Live, scroll down, and there you can see all the pictures of the fabrics I'm showing with the code, so it makes it a little bit easier to order. So you can either order online, or if you want to go on the do it by phone, you can ask them, the people who answer the phone, or if you can get the codes off the website and do it that way. But if you want to have a little look, that's the code that they'll be asking for you when you phone. And remember, if you want more than one, Kat's doing a bit of shopping now. And then click there and you see the units. One unit is 1/2 metre. So if you want 3 metres, you need to put 6 units in. Kat's probably now just bought 6 metres of fabric. 3 metres. She's bought 3 metres of fabric. Now you've just bought someone else's fabric. Then we've got these two. I like these. These are like bubbles or pebbles. Should we start with the white? So this is what's lovely about a fabric collection. You've got the big prints, you've got the medium prints, you've got the sort of the feature prints and like the panel with the hexagons, and then this is your sort of low volume all over print, multi-directional, perfect for borders and bindings and sashings. Great if you're doing things like you're cutting half square triangles where the direction keeps changing all the time. If you use a print with the direction you're doing half square triangles, perfectly possible, but trickier, because you have to think about it. But these are the sort of fabrics that are ideal for that. Oh, Kate says she's worried to ask about front door. What does it mean? Angry. Oh, it's one of the red front doors and one of the most common colours. And it means welcome. There you go. But bright red says you're exciting and vibrant, and dark is warm and inviting. So actually what we all need to do is read these and then change the colour of your front door depending on what you want to be. What does purple mean there? I'm sure that's something like regal. Associated with spirituality, not Roman emperors. A risk taker. Ooh. Problem is I've got a green front fence. I don't think if I had a purple front door it would go together. Look a bit silly, wouldn't it? So the graphics that are in there now are for, shall I move that one? This one. I really like that one. And it looks so lovely with the dandelion clocks in the same colour. Isn't that gorgeous? And then this one, really going to confuse things. That's the same colour again, but you've got different volumes. So you've got big, medium, low, and then almost plain but with a bit of print in it. And obviously, now if we go right back to the beginning, really confusing. If you go right back to the beginning, now you can see all of those prints that I've just shown you are all in here, as if by magic. And some of them you've got in different colourways. So this scrolly print is now in a darker one. The dandelion clocks is in different, but all of those prints, there's another one there, are all in here. So when you buy the bundle, everything goes together with it. So all of those colours. So if you wanted to use this to cut out to use for hexes, you could use any of the other fabrics in the bundles. There's so many different things you can do with it. But isn't it lovely? So the hexy fabric, we've only got 2 meters left of that. I'm not surprised. I mean, it is gorgeous. So if you want 2 meters of this, quickly put 4 units in your basket. Oh, I've lost a sticker. I wonder if it was off that one. We've only got 1 meter. Is that? I hope this isn't one of them. But if you just want half a meter, get the mega bundle, because it is in that. I really like that. You don't often see such a bold hexy fabric. Really lovely. Mega bundle once more, £65 and 89 pence, and that is all of the fabrics, but you get half a metre for free. And doesn't matter which one, we just give it to you. So that's the best way to make the saving. And also, when you've got a fabric collection like this, often when we then sell it by the half metre, one is sold out, so you can't always get the one you want, but you can guarantee, yeah, because the hexies are about to sell out. And what was the other one we only had 2 meters left of? The white roses, this one. So if you do want, I think that one, we only had half metre left of. So if you want all of them, you need to have the whole mega bundle. But it is gorgeous. You can do loads with half a metre anyway. But you get 6 meters in the mega bundle for the price of 5.5. We've had a message from Wendy. Morning all. My grey front door means intelligence and being dignified. Think I may have the wrong colour door. No, Wendy, go with it. Just go with it. You are officially intelligent and dignified. And everyone who walks past your house will know that. If I was you, I'd put a sign on it. Dignified Wendy, that is. If I was you, I'd put a sign on your front door. I am dignified. I wonder if there's any negative ones. Like, what if you had a yellow front door? Yeah, we're just checking that. Means confident, curious and wise. I've got a yellow card. Does that make me confident? Yes, curious and wise. Yeah, when you drive in the middle lane all the way here. I didn't actually. In fact, when I drive here, there's nobody on the motorway anyway. I can drive where I like. Sometimes I drive sideways. No, I don't. That was a lie. That was a lie. I have never driven. Actually, this morning, it said again, the police went past really fast. It's like 4:30. Pedestrians on the road. I'm thinking, who's up? Who at this time of the morning wants to walk across a motorway? Unbelievable. The blue fat quarter part. This one. Shall I open it? Yeah. There we go. So in this little pack, we have got 5, called Seaside, 5 fat quarters in turquoise. If you don't know what a fat quarter is, it is half a metre or half a yard. In fact, this is probably, I know this is might be American, and if it is, then there'll be 18 by 20 inches. Shall we have a look? English fat quarters are bigger than American because the English ones are done in metres and the American ones are done in yards. So, luckily, have a tape measure. This is 21 by 17.5, so this is an American one. You can do a lot with a fat quarter. That's why people have written whole books about them. But, you know, because these are the plain ones, these are ideal for mixing with the other range because they're the ones, these are your borders and bindings and tote bag handles and all that kind of thing. Oh, we haven't shown the quilt pattern. Oh, yeah, so Kat and I ran a little search earlier. I'm not sure whether we're allowed to do this, but we were looking up about the fabric collection and who designed it and what it was, and we went on their website and we found a free quilt pattern. Look, there it is. Anyway, it says on there, look, see that button that goes download PDF pattern? That's free, isn't it then? I mean, it said you're not allowed to sell it, but we're not selling it. We're just showing you. We're showing you. So if you've got the bundle and you would like to make the quilt, there's the pattern. There we go. Anyway, it is there. We found it this morning. Always nice to have a little freebie, isn't it? So in this fat quarter bundle, there's turquoise. There's like Wedgwood blue. I've got to think of names for these. English sky blue. Oh, that's very azure. And teal. So this is kind of sea and sky blue. Well, it's called seaside blues. And we also have, I'll just put that there nicely. Oh, there's another sticker. Down, dear me. I'll put that on the side of the table and then later on we'll find it, put it back on. This one is 4 fat quarters, but these are blueprints instead of, these are back in stock, so these are sold out before. So in this, you can never see them when you go like that. Like, what can you see when you do that? Nothing. But look, you see it all now. So you've got navy with a small floral print, a lighter blue with a small floral print, a lovely gingham, and then a white with a floral print. That's lovely. It's $6.90. Is that only $6.99? 4 fat quarters. So that's like a metre, isn't it? Oh, and this one's actually got, these are 45 by 55 centimetres. So basically you're getting a metre of fabric for $6.99. So that works out as £1.74 a fat quarter, which is actually extremely, extremely good value. Let's hope you don't get this one because we're never going to get that ribbon back on it. Right, so we have got some other fat quarters in a different colour, but you know, we're on fat quarters now. We've moved away from blue. Yeah, we'll come back to blue, but we're now on fat quarters. So these are red. So again, this is exactly the same. This is, 45 by 55 centimetres, 4 fat quarters, $6.99. So you're getting a metre of fabric for $6.99. So we've got a little red print in a very dark burgundy red. I like that one. That's really nice for Luna Lapin's dresses. It's that sort of small print, isn't it? Bright red. But you know, there are loads and loads of fat quarter books, aren't there, that you can get? Headbands, face covering, face masks, baby bibs. It's amazing what you can make. Pencil case. Love the gingham. It's nice red, this though, actually, because it's a darker red. It's more of your shaker, that kind of dark red that goes really well with the linens. Sort of the deeper red colours, and then another lovely red floral print. And you can make a lot from 4 fat quarters. Beautiful patchwork. Oh, another message. Is it about front doors? Ha ha. I love that one. Oh, obviously didn't realise it was Wendy Orlando that she would have agreed. I've got, yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Wendy. Sorry, if I'd known it was Wendy Orlando, I'd have gone, your door's the wrong colour. Yeah, what door shall we choose for Wendy Orlando? We're just going to go and have a look, Wendy, and then we'll be sending the paint straight round. Vibrant and exciting, yes, orange. You need to repaint your front door orange, Wendy. What was it somebody called Wendy the other day? Whirlwind Wendy. That's so funny. I messaged one of our lovely knitters. We have all these knitters who work with us on Yarn Lane and knit things. And I said, well, Wendy Orlando will be in touch because she's designing the thing for you to knit. She goes, oh, I love Whirlwind Wendy. So that's obviously your new name. Which one should we do? Green? Again, 4 fat quarters. What have you got? Oh, we've done green, haven't we? 45 by 55. Still can't believe these are only $6.99. Because this is 100% cotton. It's not rubbish quality or anything. It's nice. You know, sometimes you can go to those supermarkets that sell fat quarters and they're really stiff and really cheap. These aren't like that. Look, these are lovely. Really nice quality, soft, pure cotton fabric. And I'm thinking, you know, cushion, half square triangles, lovely with this. £6.99, can't believe that. Didn't quite go back together the same. Anyway, that's the dark one. I am rubbish at folding fabric. I think what they do is they fold it in, don't they? There we go, there we go. I wouldn't get a job in Benetton, would I, folding jumpers? That's lovely. That's really pretty, isn't it? That is, yeah, very good for little dresses, for toys. But that makes me think very 1950s, isn't it? That shade of green. I can see somebody in a little tea dress in that. Then you've got a darker brown with green, but really pretty. Again, that feels very vintage. Is this one got a name? Just green. Oh, wasn't very inspired, was it? Maybe I'll give them a ring. I could come up with a better name than that. No, but we could just, Kat, you and I, we could have a little sideline here, couldn't we? Fabric collection names. We could just do it in our breaks. And then you've got a really lovely grassy green stripe. We could become colour name consultants. Definitely. What would you call this one then, Kat? Not just green. Vintage green. Oh, we come up with something brilliant. Then the next one is rose, which is burgundies and pinks. I would call it vintage rose. Old English rose. Old English rose. So you've got the burgundy with the rose pattern. In fact, I think as the Sewing Street viewers, we could all get together on the Facebook page and we could all earn this money together, couldn't we? Because I reckon if I put a picture of these on, we asked for 20 suggestions and then we could all club together. We'd be more inspired than pink, wouldn't we? Then we've got a pale pink with a lovely floral with daisies on it. Another pale pink with really, that's very Liberty, isn't it? Very Liberty. I say that quietly because it's not, but it is very Liberty. And then a lovely stripe. I do like a stripe with a floral. And I quite like a check and a spot as well, but they haven't put those in. Maybe we could help them as well with their fabric choices, because it would have been nice with a check. But they're lovely, aren't they? So these are ideal for your small little patchwork prints, little bits of applique, linings, small bags, cushions. If you want to do some patchwork and you want to have a go before using really expensive fabric, but you don't want to just use anything rubbish, these are ideal. Just perfect for your fabric stash. And when you think, oh, I just want to make a little gift bag, you've got your little fat quarter bundle, £6.99. You think, right, brilliant, I can make 2 of those now. Also, you remember I said to you earlier, if you're thinking about buying the sewing box. Oh yeah, there it is. I was looking on the floor. And I said, you know, wouldn't it be nice to buy one of these if you were going to buy one for a present for somebody? And then between now and whenever their birthday is or Christmas, oh, the floor's really sticky. That's weird. I think there's a cross stuck on the floor and I think the tape has come off and I thought I'd stood in something. And what you can do, you see, between now and whoever you're buying the gift for, you could buy things to fill it in. Now, wouldn't these fat quarters be ideal? So, put your fat quarters in. Should we see how many we can get in? 1, 2. Oh, look at that. Look at that. 3. Well, we're not even halfway. 4. So I think 5. And then if you had another one, which I guess is that one, like that, you can still get the tray in the top. I mean, you don't have to put that many in, but what a fantastic gift. Even if you just bought one. I think if you... So, even if you just bought one of the fat quarters, that's £20 for the sewing box and 4 fat quarters. What a nice gift. I tell you what, it would be good. Raffle prize. School fete, ask you to give a raffle prize. What a lovely raffle prize. And by the time you've been out and bought all the ingredients to make those 300 cupcakes you promised to make, you'd be better off buying them one of these. And you wouldn't have to do the cooking. But don't forget the early bird. It's £12.99, which is... Yeah, we found, well, Kat found a price, look, there we go. Kat found a price comparison earlier. I'll show you the inside as well. Look. That was £23.99. So we normally have sold one similar to this, because this is brand new on air today for us, for £19.99. So it's like saving almost double your postage. But obviously this is only available while stocks last. Let me turn around the right way. Once it's gone, and the price will also be going back up if it hasn't gone. But that's a lovely present, isn't it? One more fat quarter pack. This is lovely. This is like brushed. We're never going to get those labels back on. So if you were thinking maybe tartan trousers for Hugh. Can you imagine Hugh in the tartan trousers? We've got lovely tartans. I like the weave of these as well. These aren't printed. Oh no, they're woven. This is woven, you can tell, because when you pull the selvage off, it's woven. Beautiful, that one. So you've got a dark red, you've got a lighter red. This one, this is printed, but this is brushed cotton. No, this isn't printed, it's woven. I lied. You can always tell if something's woven or printed, because you can see when you look on the back. This one is brushed. This is pyjamas. Yeah, you see, what I would do is if I made Luna, I'd use one of the dresses but make it into a night dress, or one of the trousers make it into pyjamas. This is what it should be made from. But, you know, actually this is kind of Christmassy, isn't it? Which is weird. £5.49 for 4 fat quarters. Wow, that's amazing, isn't it? So that works out as £1.37. Oh, and the final one is just another shade of tartan. So you've got 3 plain tartan, well, not plain, but 1 brushed cotton tartan. Aren't they lovely? £5.49. They'd make lovely notebook covers though, wouldn't they? That's what I think I would do with it. If you wanted to give, I love notebook covers. Yeah, maybe I should. No, I love notebook covers because they're really easy to make. I'll have to do a demo one day. I'll do that. Next time we have some fat quarters, I'll show you how to make a notebook cover, because this is a really good way of how to measure your book and then do it. But if you wanted to give someone a little diary or an A5 notebook that costs like £1.50, you just cover it, and then you can even put the person's name on the front. So we'll do that one day. Oh, a message from Diana. Morning, Rebecca. I put colours together, then listen to my family saying no in various ways. I wouldn't listen to them. Honestly, I put a picture yesterday on my Instagram page of my crochet wreath that I'd finished. And my son said to me, Mum, do you not think you're taking this crochet thing a bit too far? I went, that's so rude, isn't it? I went, what do you mean I'm taking? He goes, well, have you noticed like you've got everything that's crochet now? I was really offended. Anyway, so I put a picture of it on my Instagram page. I had so many lovely comments from people. So Diana, just ignore your family and do what you want to do. In fact, just ask people whose opinion you actually want. Fancy him saying you've taken crochet a bit too far. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Right, the panel that's hanging behind me. Midnight Hydrangea. I absolutely love that. Beautiful, isn't it? I love hydrangeas anyway. I've given up on blue hydrangeas. You have to go and live in Brittany. Or Bude. Bude. Well, you've got to have the right soil for blue hydrangeas. You have to have the alkali. So most of England, except for North Cornwall and South Devon, they go blue, or the whole of Brittany. Other than that, you have to have pink ones. Or you have to put them in pots. But that is beautiful. Oh, we're very limited on this one. We have less than 10. I mean, that panel is perfect. You can use it for the centre of a quilt and put other colours around it. Perfect for a centre of a table. It's really lovely, isn't it? Nice quality as well. It's very, very soft. It's really pretty. Oh, less than 10 though. So if you want one, you do need to check out and put it in your basket, really. But if you buy multiples, they do come pre-cut. I'm just going to drink my cup of tea. Just a minute. Elliot made me a cup of tea. I've got to drink it. The dog is sitting in front of the panel. Anyway, there's a less than 10 of those available, but it is a beautiful panel, isn't it? I feel very floral today. Let's do barley pops. So this is Denim and grey. I love barley pops. We do them quite a lot, but we have them every time I do them. We have different colours. They are all proper batik fabrics. So the people who create these, Hoffman, they go over to Indonesia and Bali, and they have these created and done for them, and they are done in the original way, where you get the fabric and you put wax on in a pattern, and then you dye it, and then you heat it, and the wax comes off because the bits where the wax on don't absorb the dye, and then you do it again and again and again. So each piece of fabric is different, but it all has this beautiful pattern. So that's what it looks like, but I'm going to show you what they really look like. But rather than open that one, when you get them, they'll look like that, but this will look like when you open them, and you'll never get them looking like that again. But in here there are 40. Yes, 40 different fabrics. So they are all like a design roll strip. They're 2.5 inches wide, and then the full width of the fabric, so 44 inches or 112 centimetres. So it's like buying a jelly roll design roll, but it's just packaged in a different way. But aren't they lovely? And every single one will be slightly different. So like this one here, where you've got white and then grey leaves, but this has probably been dyed 3 or 4 times, so you've got all different depths of leaves. So these are fantastic colours. So if you want to do something where you get lots of books that say jelly roll quilts or design roll makes, these are perfect for it. But the other good thing that you can do with these design rolls is they're really good for binding. So you can join them all together into one long length, or a few of them, however many you need, and they are the perfect width for binding a quilt. Lovely burgundies, but look, see the stripes, they're not regular stripes, they're slightly wiggly, and you can see the sort of the pattern of the dye behind them. And it's funny because sometimes the batik fabrics are stiffer, but these aren't. I think because of the amount of dye in them, but these aren't. These are a really nice quilting weight. So if you go onto their website on YouTube, there's a brilliant video of them actually making these. I mean, look, I love that one. Isn't that gorgeous? And the spots. So there's loads of different things you can do with these, but this is a lovely colourway. So it's a mixture, as you can see I'm going through, of charcoals, denim-y blues, burgundies, whites, creams. I love that one. But they are traditional Indonesian batik prints. And you wouldn't get this effect by just printing fabric. You have to do all the dyeing in the different ways to get the different levels and the backgrounds of prints. It's that sort of like, it's like posh tie-dye. Oh, I used to love tie-dye. I haven't done that for ages. I remember I used to make clothes out of my mum's old sheets and tie-dye them. Thought I looked amazing. Probably didn't, but as a teenager. Oh yeah, your cat's got tie-dye on today. You do. But I made trousers out of sheets. Can you imagine what they look like? We've got to start somewhere though. And we used to like use elastic bands and nylon dye. Should we do a dye-in day? And then realise that actually let's just buy barley pops because they look so much better. I like this colourway in it. This is like your burgundy. I hope you're watching. But you've got the mix of the burgundy and browns. This is very autumnal, but it is a lovely mix because you've got all of the colours actually go together. If you wanted to make something from this, you could use every single one of them together because they do all blend together, or just keep it and use them. I've got a design roll that I just dip in and out of. Once I'd broken into it, it's a bit like a box of chocolates, isn't it? Once I'd started it, that was fine. You don't ever want to start them, and I use it all the time for just little things. So you know, maybe you think, well, I just want to bind around the edge of a cushion, or I'll just join 3 of them together, and then you just choose the ones you like. What have you done with your barley pops then, Wendy Orlando, seeing as you're watching? Behind your grey front door. So we all know where Wendy Orlando lives now, don't we? She's the one with the grey front door. I love those colours. They're like rusty, aren't they? There's so much. When you look at this, I'm still going. Still going. That's beautiful. I just love these. So $39.99 and you get 40. Oh yeah, I mean that's only half the width. I just can't be showing you it all because I'd never get it all across the table. Oh look, there you go. Da da da, full width. Da da. And that's called Denim and Grace. I wonder why it's called that then. Well, I get the denim bit, yes. It's cut with a laser guided machine. Oh well, there we are then. Does that mean that means they're very accurate? Cut with a laser cut machine. No scissors were not harmed during the cutting of these barley pop. Threads. Carrying on our blue theme that we sort of moved off, but then have now come back to. We have got 2 sets of threads. We'll do one at a time. Are they the same? Oh no, they are different. That one's got different greens in it. This is OAZW30. So Gutermann thread, 100% polyester sew-all thread. I love this thread because it doesn't break. Really good for hand sewing. If you're sewing buttons on as well, it doesn't break. But I use this in my machine all the time. I mean, obviously, sometimes if I'm making more of an heirloom thing, I might use cotton thread. But this is my go-to bog standard sew-all thread. But it's really good quality. I used to have a go-to cheaper and it kept breaking. But the Gutermann is lovely quality. There is 150, just checking that, but it normally is 100 metres per spool. And you get 10 spools. So you're paying £1.49 a spool, which is really good value because if you went and bought them singly, they would be more than that. So you've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shades of blue from very pale to midnight. It looks black, but it's not. It's a midnight blue. And then you've got the green. So you've got like apple, jade, bottle green, teal, and deep petrol blue. I'm applying for the job as the colour namer, you see. So if I keep doing this, they'll notice. The other thread pack, these are cotton. So as I said, you know, sometimes the polyester is the sew-all thread is my go-to thread because it doesn't break, it's stronger, it's great for hand sewing. But if you're doing something that's more heirloom or you're using pure cotton fabric and you want to use the cotton thread, then this is ideal. It's 100 metres per spool. You get 10 spools. So you've got the 5 shades of grain, blue, grain. Where did I get that from? Blue, ranging from light blue up to midnight. And then you've got 5 shades of green. But you've got pistachio, sort of a yellowy green. Not sure what that one is. Pea, jade, and bottle. I think that's pea green anyway. That's like your citrine colour. But some people, I find that the cotton thread doesn't break in the machine. It breaks if I'm sewing on something that you have to pull, you know, like gathering threads. But a lot of people will use cotton thread if they're making quilts and things because they like the cotton with the cotton. But choose cotton or polyester. Okay. Oh, Wendy's back. Actually, you need to ask why I haven't made. I love them. They are so much more than 2.5-inch strips. As you can create whole panels by joining them. Well, I'm looking forward to working with you on Sewing Street, Wendy, with your whole quilt made from the pack of barley pops. We'll see you next week. So the bundles that we had at the start of the show, this big one here, we are now very limited in stock. Remember that they are also available by the ½ metre. The hexi panel is completely sold out, so I hope everyone has now gone and measured their bed and is making themselves a quilt with it. And the blue background with the white dandelions on, which is this one here. So that one and that one. That one. So that one has sold. If you want to buy it by the ½ metre, those two are about to sell out, and that one has sold out. All of the others are still available by the ½ metre, but if you the bundle of all of them is still available. There aren't many left, but if you want all of them, less than 5, that'll be 4 then. Otherwise, it'd be less than 4. So if you want all of them, there are 12 and you get ½ metre of each and you get one for free. So there, let me show you. I'm going to do a little, I know, saving £5.99, which is more than your P&P, even though you've already saved that twice by buying the early bird. That's presuming you did buy the early bird. There we go. I'm just going to show you the rest of the fabrics just quickly. Just quickly. So you can see what the whole bundle, because when I started this, Kat had arranged these beautifully and it all went wrong after that. And I think I've lost a sticker. It's all going wrong. So there we go. That's the whole pack. How beautiful is that? And there's only 4 left. So you need to put it in your basket. Oh, and check out too. Right. I will see you back here in a couple of minutes. We've got Cara back with Debbie Shaw's book and the All Decked Out bag. And we've got 4 different fabric bundles to make it. And brand new fabric too. So we'll see you back here in a couple of minutes' time.
Keep up to date with what's on Sewing Street and Yarn Lane, as well as all the latest news and special offers by signing up to our email newsletters. For Sewing Street, head on over to www.sewingstreet.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, type in your email address, click the envelope, and you're done. It's exactly the same for Yarn Lane. Head on over to www.yarnlane.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, type in your email address, click the envelope, and that's it. You are now subscribed to both Sewing Street's and Yarn Lane's email newsletters, so you'll never miss out on the latest news and special offers ever again.
Have you heard about all of the different ways you can shop with Sewing Street and Yarn Lane? You can either shop on our websites, sewingstreet.com and yarnlane.com. You can also order by phone by calling our friendly UK customer service team. For Sewing Street, call 0800 001 4433, and for Yarn Lane, call 0800 4700 600. And don't forget about the Sewing Street app. Here you can shop all of the Sewing Street products as well as watch the live shows from anywhere. You can download the app onto your smartphone or your tablet by simply searching Sewing Street in your app store. And one final thing, no matter how many times you check out on Sewing Street or Yarn Lane in one day, you will only pay 1 postage and packaging. Happy shopping!
Hello everyone, I'm Delphine Brooks. It's so great to be here and part of the Sewing Street family. I'm local, I'm only down the road in Warwickshire. I started sewing many years ago when I was very young, doing lots of art and painting, and eventually I went into textiles and I really enjoyed doing the two together. I then had a bit of a break. Something you don't know about me maybe is that I spent many years in the Royal Air Force and eventually in the police as well. And then I went full circle and I've come back to my happy place of sewing, and which I really enjoy. My best sewing tip is measure twice and cut once. I have chipped up a couple of times by not measuring properly, and I do always regret it. So now I always measure twice, cut once. Anyway, I really hope to be with you again soon, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you.
In need of a crafting fix? There are so many ways you can watch Sewing Street and Yarn Lane. Sewing Street is live from 8 AM to 1 PM every day on Freeview 72 and Sky 670. Alternatively, if you want to watch us on a tablet or on the move, you can tune in on our YouTube channel, the Sewing Street app, or the websites at www.sewingstreet.com and www.yarnlane.com. You can watch past shows on Sky 670 from 1 PM every day, as well as our YouTube channel, the app, and our website. Yarn Lane is on from 12 PM to 1 PM. Visit our programme guide to find out when and what's on. So you never have to spend a minute without us.
Have you heard about all of the different ways you can shop with Sewing Street and Yarn Lane? You can either shop on our websites, sewingstreet.com and yarnlane.com. You can also order by phone by calling our friendly UK customer service team. For Sewing Street, call 0800 001 4433, and for Yarn Lane, call 0800 4700 600. And don't forget about the Sewing Street app. Here you can shop all of the Sewing Street products as well as watch the live shows from anywhere. You can download the app onto your smartphone or your tablet by simply searching Sewing Street in your app store. And one final thing, no matter how many times you check out on Sewing Street or Yarn Lane in one day, you will only pay one postage and packaging. Happy shopping!
Are you a fan of Sewing Street and Yarn Lane? Why not join our growing Facebook fans pages? Just search Sewing Street Fans and Yarn Lane TV Fans on Facebook and click Join Group. It's that simple. Never miss out on the latest news and updates from our presenters and guest designers, special offers and plenty of chat with your fellow fans. Share photos of your makes, ask for advice, interact with your favourite guests and presenters and be a part of the ever-growing sewing and yarn community. See you there! And welcome back to Sewing Street. Oh, I had to eat. I found a white mouse. Not a real one, a chocolate white mouse. Oh, I love those so much. And then Joe goes, well, you've got 10 seconds. I've never eaten a white mouse so fast. And my love. Anyway, we've got a brand new fabric range for you. We've got Cara on who's going to show us how to make one of the bags from Debbie's new book, featuring this fantastic new fabric range. So we're going to start with this huge panel that's in front of me. Shall I turn it round? Oh. Oh dear, oh dear, dear. It was going so well. Sorry about that. It fell off the table. Oh, how we laughed. Let me just move the book. So on this panel, it's lovely, isn't it? It's like just fun camper vans and caravans. It's called Roaming Holiday because we all want to be getting back on the caravans and going back on holiday, don't we? I love this. So on the panel, you've got a border strip across the bottom with miniature versions. So you can use that if you want. You could cut that bit off. So sometimes people use these panels for just quilting, making into a wall hanging. You can do that and you've got the border at the bottom. Other times people use them to cut up, so they might use the border on something. They'll cut up each of the individual ones, make a fantastic bag. You know, like a satchel style bag. Can you imagine one of these on? Especially for your caravan. I love them. So you've got, they've all got different colour. What colour's your front door then, Cara?
Wood.
Wood, light brown or dark brown?
Dark.
Dark. Oh, we're the same as Cat.
What does that mean?
Introverted and private.
Sorry.
We'll have a chat with you about front door colours and you might want to repaint when you get home. Anyway, so this one has got like Chinese lanterns and fairy lights. Bunting. Aren't they lovely? I love that one. It's got a flamingo, but I think it's one of those flamingos that you put in the garden, isn't it? But aren't they lovely? I just, you know, you see those sort of really quirky bags and satchels with things like this printed on them. They'd be great, wouldn't they? Or in your caravan, whole set of cushions. So you could cut out each of these, put a board around it, all of your seats covered, look amazing. Or even outdoor cushions. You know, now that we can, I actually sat outside yesterday and had my lunch. Amazing. It was that warm. I live down south though. It's always warm down south, isn't it? Wet, but warm. Outdoor cushions would look amazing out of all of these. So you can use the whole panel as it is or cut them up to use for different things. I'm liking the idea of outdoor cushions on your outdoor furniture. I don't know why, because they're camper vans, aren't they? But it makes you feel like going on holiday. I love that one. That's my favourite one because it has satellite TV. And these are all just miniature versions of them. Yeah, you can watch Sewing Street whilst on holiday, leaning against your cushion in the caravan. Anyway, that's the panel, but say you did want to make a load of cushions and you needed some coordinating fabrics. We have the rest of the collection here, so of which there are 7. Some of them are also in the bundles that we're using, that Cara's using to make the bag, but this is, should we start with this one? Because this is very pictorial. I like this one. So it is similar caravans, but like this one, you see, it's got the 2 chairs and the barbecue outside. There's the barbecue, there's one with a fire. Look, marshmallows. So you could use this to make cushions. A shell mat, yeah. So when you go on your camping holiday, first day on the campsite, outside the toilet block in a shirt. Look great. Look at that one they've got. I love the little picnic chairs around the campfire. Bicycle. That's great, isn't it? I love these pictorial ones. There's a squirrel. Oh, the squirrel. Squirrel. Guitar picnic bench. This is brand new in today. This one here isn't in any of the kits. The last 3 will be, but this one here isn't. £7.49 for half a metre. It's such fun, isn't it? And it makes you think. If you think, that life is going to get warm and we can go outside, you can buy this by the half metre. So if you do want to make any sort of items of dressmaking or something bigger, or you want to use it for a quilt, you can buy it by the half metre and we will cut it to order. So if you want 3 metres, put 6 units in your basket and you can have 3 metres, and it will come as a 3 metre cut piece, not as individual pieces. Oh, it'd look fantastic for a tablecloth, wouldn't it? Or again, a picnic blanket. Everyone needs a picnic blanket. Barbecue apron. Oh, yes. Right, let's do... just having a look. Right, I've got red. The red and the yellow are the same, only they're different colours, but the print is the same. So we'll start with the red. Just little ones. So you could use that if you were making your cushions for your caravan. This would make a nice border, wouldn't it? So those are the little caravans. And then we've got the same fabric, but with a yellow background. On pre-order, because we put these on first thing this morning, the yellow has been the most popular. That's because it's bright and sunny and cheerful. There we go. They go really well together, don't they? Look at those. Because, there's so many different sorts of fibres, but you don't often see ones that are totally dedicated to outdoor caravanning. Lots of floral, loads of floral. But if you want this, but I'm thinking, yeah, barbecue aprons, anything to do with outdoors. And then we've got 2 with the black background. We'll do this one first. Oh, that one's barbecue. I thought they were bar stools. Oh, I love this. So on that that turquoisey one we saw, there were loads and loads of different elements on it. And these are all the elements. So you've got the fire and the caravans, binoculars, marshmallows on sticks, canoe, lamp. Yeah, this is very good for a lining, isn't it? Or it's the memory game, isn't it? Put it on a tray. How many things can you remember and then take it away? I bet it would be quite hard, wouldn't it? Carabiner, camera, spade. But again, this is for any of your outdoor makes or just a bit of fun, or you're making a patchwork quilt. And this is your chance to be able to buy it by the half metre, brand new fabric, to Sewing Street today. I know it's because we're feeling sunny, that's why I wore my flowery dress. And then this one, I thought this was bar stools, but no. It's little barbecues. So the same with any fabric collection. You have your big print, then you have your smaller prints, and then you have your sort of background prints. This is cool. Well, I thought it was just spots. Then I thought it was stools. But again, apron, picnic bag. That sort of wine bottle carrier thing that you take on a picnic, because it's a bit more subtle. Use some insulated wadding, make a lovely picnic bag, or the lining, because it wouldn't get dirty. It could be the lining of a picnic blanket, cushions for outdoors, all sorts of things. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything to do with the outdoors. This one is a little bit more subtle. Love that one. Right, and then we have 3 others, actually. So let's use and these are going to be in the bag kits. In the bag bundles, but we are also, as well as being in the bag bundles, selling them by the half metre for you. So we'll start with the red one. So again, this is your real sort of low volume background print, because it looks red. Now this, again, if you wanted to put borders on something, particularly if you were going to make those cushions, this is ideal, because it's exactly the same red, as you can see. If you wanted to pair it with that, it's the same red. But rather than it being boring and plain, it's just got little caravans just as outlines. So it's got that just slight subtle interest. So You could use this for lots of different things, but if you just wanted, rather than something being plain and you just, you know, maybe you were going to line something or want something slightly more interesting, really like that. But it goes together really well with the rest of the collection. Again, by the half metre, £7.49, and this is brand new today. So that's the red one. I'll just put that back on there. Then we've got the blue, which is the sort of aqua-y blue that is featured in all of the other panels. So if you look at the blue on that one, it's exactly the same. And they do stand out. So again, you know, if you wanted to use this as the border with any of the other fabrics, it's beautiful. It's like an azure, I would say. I like that word. It's that word where you go sort of bluey greeny colour, and I'm not really sure. Azure, I feel that's what it is. So that's that one. And then finally is this one, which is your border print. Let me move that one out of the way. It's in my way. In my way. Yeah, I just realised I wasn't in the middle, but I'm aware now. There we go. So this is by the half metre, which that is half a metre, isn't it? Yes, but it actually, let me show you how it works, because when you buy something that's a border, it's important to know, and I'm going to pretend I've cut half a metre. Okay, it's important to know which way it runs, because that depends how you plan your project. So it runs, the stripes run down the length of it. Yeah? They run, so sometimes when you buy fabric, the stripes run across, but this one, if you go from the selvages are down the sides, they run downwards. So this is your border print. So if you buy half metre, you get it like that. So let me just turn it around so you can see it better. But these are, you can cut these off individually to use as borders on and around things. Again, it's all the caravans that we saw in the first big panel, but just smaller versions of, some on a black background, some on a azure background with some spots and bunting and the Chinese lanterns and the fairy lights. It's all about parties, isn't it? Parties and outdoor living. Called Romin Holiday. Not Roman, Romin. Nice selvage. We love a selvage. Because look at the selvage as well. Normally the dots are of the colours, but look, they're caravans like that. So there we go. That's the final one. Those are all the new fabrics. They are, we didn't do a bundle because, well, just because there's panels, there's different things, we thought we would just do them all separately. So if you want to buy any of them, and you can't remember what I said, then go on to www.sewingstreet.com, click on Watch Live, scroll down, and then you'll see all of them there. And they are, oh, there's a message. The book. Yeah, when did we do Debbie's book? Oh, I don't think it was last week. I think it was the week before that, wasn't it? Can't remember, but I think it was the week before last. Anyway, Debbie has recently launched this, so it's the Half Yard Summer Collection. It's a compilation of other projects of Debbie's, but also in here there are 5 exclusive new projects. Now this book is $14.99, which is amazing because there are 176 pages in it. There is a lot for $14.99. There is an incredible number of 40 projects. 5 of them are brand new, but 40 projects. That's a lot for $14.99, isn't it? So should we have a quick look through? Just a quick squiz. They are put into sections: home, kids, party and vacation. So everything you need to do. I mean, you know, obviously Debbie is an absolute expert. She knows how to say what you need to do, all the techniques, all the shortcuts. She explains things in a really, really simple, easy to understand way. There's no sort of jargon or complicated. She just tells it like it is, and they're very, very easy books to follow. Every time we have a guest on air who's used one of Debbie's books, they always go, that was really easy. And that's the most important thing. So you've got all the techniques and stuff, everything that you need to know. We'll just whip through that because we are more interested in the projects, aren't we? But anyway, and look, she shows you how to make a letterbox zip, which is a very important thing. So, Summer Ready Home, basket, cube basket, flower pots, oven gloves, pumpkin pillow. I like that. Looks really nice. Hey, wouldn't that look nice in that blue fabric that we had in the last hour? Tote bag. Different way of using stripes. That's quite clever, isn't it? I like that. Tissue box cover. Of course. Of course. Casual tassel bag. That's like in a nice faux suede. And a purse. Birdhouse peg bag. Very nice. Glasses case. So this is all things for the home. Tool apron. He's quite nice, isn't he? Oh, Cara's nodding.
That wasn't a nod.
Page
that
62.
That wasn't a nod. That wasn't a nod.
She's just flicking to page 62 as
No,
we speak.
I'm looking at the caravan caddy. That looks really cool.
Cactus pin cushion. Headbands. Oh, I love the caravan caddy. This play caravan is for a girl on the go and a nod to any caravan holiday. Use it as a portable doll's house or as a storage for pens and paper. Oh, wow. Is that not the best? I want one. Oh, look at it. You can store all those. Oh. And with this new caravan fabric, it'd be brilliant for that. Isn't that lovely? So you could put all your pens in there or all your toys. And that's just the best. Reading pillow. These are always really popular whenever we do child's aid. So this is the children's section. I really like this one. I saw this one earlier. It's a kid's backpack, but in it is a whole section, if I get there, look, of elastic loops to put your pens in. That's a great idea. Summer party. Oh, yes, we're all going to have a summer party. I'm looking forward to that. Tray mat. Oh, that's nice. Now, you think of some of those barbecue fabrics we've got now, but also some of the fabrics we've had on earlier today that would be perfect for outdoor picnics. That's such a nice idea, isn't it? Bunting, obviously. Jar rat. Love the tea cosy. Still need a tea cosy, especially if you're taking your tea outside. I like that. Oh, look. Battenberg. It is one of my favourite things. So anyway, there's loads and loads and loads. Bottle bags, lots and lots of ideas and inspiration for books, bags. So the bag that Cara is doing for us today, I think it's right at the end.
It is.
I'm sure it is because I looked through it earlier and then realised it was right at the end. So the bag that Cara's doing for us today is the all decked out bag. Okay, so we have got 4 different bundles and I'm going to whiz through them so that we can crack on with the demo. The first bundle is this one, and you get 1/2 metre of the stripe. Yeah, sorry. And then 1 metre of this plain sort of chambray blue colour fabric and a pack of the eyelets that you need. That's bundle 1. Bundle number 2 is you get 1 metre of the navy stripe, 1/2 metre of the fabulous caravans. Where is the... Oh! You can see the bag right in front of me. And this is the one using that bundle. So you can see she's used the border around the bottom and then this lovely stripe around the top and for the lining. And then it has these lovely drawstring handles. Isn't that really... I love it in that. It's gorgeous, isn't it? I think that really is my favourite fabric at the moment. And then it just pulls up. Let me just hang it back on there so it's out of the way. So that's that one. And obviously you get the eyelets for the holes. Then we've got this bundle, so you get 1 metre, no, 1/2 metre of the Azure Caravan print fabric, and then 1 metre of the blue and silver eyelets. Then the final bundle, you get 1/2 metre of the red Caravan print fabric, 1 metre of the coral and gold eyelets. So we've done that really, really quickly. But if you want us to go back through them or look on the website, then all the details are there. But we want to get on with the demo. We have also got the rope for the handles. Now, these are in 1 metre pieces. You will need 2 of these because one goes one way through the drawstring, then one the other way. So you will need 2 of these, but this is lovely, isn't it? I think it's really important sometimes we show you products and there's quite often you need to buy specific things. Well, we've got that for you here, but remember you will need 2. This is brand new. We've never sold this before. Brand new, brought in today for this project. So, shall we move on to the demo now? Welcome back, Cara.
Hello.
Sorry that took ages, didn't it?
That's okay. I love the fabrics. I have
It's
friends who've got camper
gorgeous.
vans, and
Have you?
I'm thinking, oh my
What
gosh.
would you make then?
Oh, I don't know. Loads, and loads from the book as
I
well.
know, there's loads of things in there.
Yes.
I know. And there's a lot in the book that you could do.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
it's a summer book, isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Cushions for I'm thinking outdoor cushions.
Cushions and things for the kids if you've got the grandkids coming to the caravan,
Oh,
you
that's
know.
true.
So I think there was a reading pillow and, you know, different bits and pieces. It'd just be fab. Aprons, you know, the wine cooler bags and
lovely.
everything. So,
But
yeah, really love
we're
that
going to make the
fabric.
drawstring bag.
We are.
Well,
And
when
that
I say we,
that was lovely to make, and it really is easy.
I say every time we have any guests on who have done Debbie's books, they always say the same
Yeah,
thing.
it's
It's easy.
really easy. It's just beautiful, and I chose the aqua one and the stripe around the bottom. So if you actually look at the bottom of the bag, I've got the black. So
Oh, okay. Ooh.
but what you could do,
Oh, yes, yeah.
I know it seems such a not a waste. But
No, but you see the bottom because when you're
Yes.
carrying that,
yes,
you would see the bottom.
yes. So you know, and the fabric's lovely. You've got bits and pieces left over. So that other project that's after this one in the book would be really good. So the all decked out purse.
Oh, yes.
So you could use
it's like a
some of
miniature
your bits,
version,
yeah,
isn't it?
some of your bits and pieces to some of the fabric that's left over. You could actually use for that as well. So yeah. So shall we get started?
Yes, show us where do we begin?
We begin by cutting out. Always read instructions first, obviously. You're going to cut out all your pieces, and I found it easier just to make a little list of all the pieces and tick them as I did them, but there's not that many. So you've got the bottom of the bag and the top of the bag there, and then some H640 is useful to give it a bit more body as well.
Fusible wadding.
The fusible fleece is really
Okay.
good as well. And I know we've got that on the website.
How much do we need? Because we've
Just
got that
one
on,
piece.
Oh, that's fine. So we've got that on $9.99 for a
Yes.
metre, so that's enough.
Yes,
You
yeah.
could use normal wadding, but the fusible's just easier.
It is, it is. So you cut out all your pieces, and then you'll put your the long edge together, so of the top and the bottom, and we're going to machine across here. So take that to the machine. I've actually got a walking foot on the machine at the moment because when we come to machine through all the layers of the fusible fleece, it is a little bit easier. So
And is it all right to then to use a walking foot?
when for just normal,
non-
yes, just for normal.
For normal sewing?
Yes.
I have got a walking foot, but I never use it. I've never used it for normal sewing. Because I didn't know that you could.
I love. I got one for Christmas again. Santa.
Did you? He was very
Yes,
generous this year.
Santa was
wasn't
very,
he?
very generous this year.
Pinkinshire's walking foot. It's like the generation.
And
game.
I have used it and used it and used it. And you can, you know, obviously swap your feet around, which is absolutely fine. But I just thought I'll just do as much of the stitching as I can in one go. So we just go along the edge there. If you've got a stripy fabric, and in fact I should have done it from the other side, if you've got a stripy fabric, you want to try and get your line of machining along one of the stripes. And it's not too bad, it's not too bad at all,
Which you have
really.
done here.
Yes, yes, I tried to.
Beautifully aligned, I might say.
So then what we'll do is press this open. So we just set the stitching like that. Then we'll press it open. And you want your seam to be pressed open as well. So we'll just press it this side. And as I say, you know, it really is very, very simple. The only bit that I would say needs a little bit more time and care is the eyelets. But you don't have to put eyelets. If you wanted to, you could actually just do a channel in the top,
Oh, of
and
course,
you know,
yes.
do like a drawstring. So
Oh yeah, that's true.
okay, so what I'm going to do is actually spray some Best Press. I've never used this before. Where have I been?
Well, I wouldn't have done it. It's only because of working here.
I know.
And some people, Sally Ann Harrison, she loves it. She uses
Yeah.
it all the time. But then she does a lot of quilting where she's cutting on the bias.
Yes.
And then it stops it all shifting
Oh,
about.
right,
So
okay.
she always sprays her fabric in Best Press before she does anything.
Oh, okay.
Because then if you're doing half square triangles and things, what
It
was I doing with her
helps.
one day? Oh, Dresden plates, where
Yes.
you've got bias, it stabilises it.
Wonderful.
I know, I could be an expert by the things I've learned. I say these things as if I know them.
You
But
do,
I
you
don't.
do.
I just listen to people and they...
I know. Well, it's lovely. I mean, I'm still learning. I'm learning so
all
much.
the time. Well, I've learned loads.
Yes.
They're $11.99 for the Best Press, but it is lovely because it gives a bit of extra stiffness.
Well, also as well. I mean, I didn't spray it. I would have taken more time if I'd been doing it at home. But also with the fusible fleece, I've used the fusible fleece and I've ironed it on different ways, and I've ironed it on with steam, and you tend to get the rippling.
You do.
So
yes.
you can, if you've got a pressing cloth, you can dampen your pressing cloth and actually iron through that. And I thought today, no, do you know what? If I use Best Press, it's actually affecting the fabric, but it's also adhering the glue without
and it
bubbling.
doesn't damage it, does
No,
it? It just adds a
no.
little bit of weight to it. Whenever I use fusible, it goes a bit stiff.
Well,
And
it
that's
goes
why-
it goes sort of ripply.
That'll be my excessive use of steam.
I think it
Love
is.
steam.
Yes, yes, I do.
You get a lovely press with
I
steam,
do.
but-
I do love you know, the steam. Just whiz round there.
The bundle that Cara did her bag, this one here, has completely sold out,
Oh gosh.
which is Cara's fault for making it so nicely.
Well, the fabric's available on its own,
But the
isn't
fabric
it?
is available on its own. The rope has sold out as well.
Gosh.
But if you want the striped fabric, that is available on the website. The other fabric is also available. That's on screen at the moment, and you can buy that by the half metre. So you have to just make your own kit. Oh,
The reason why you've got more of the plain fabric is the plain fabric I've used for the lining.
right.
So that's
okay.
the reason why
So
you've
that's
got...
the reason why you've got more plain.
Yeah.
Is because so
But
you use the same amount for the top and the bottom
Yes.
of the bag,
Yes.
but you use the plain for the lining.
Yes,
Ah, okay.
which is why in the kits you've got the metre of the plain. But if you wanted to, you could actually play around with the outside. You could just have, you know, a half metre of each of two fabrics, and then do, if you've got some fabric in your stash at home, you can actually then just do the
that's
lining
true.
with
yes,
a different.
you don't have to use that, do you?
So I think that's pretty much adhered. I am going to trim round the edge. Pop that down there. Might need that later. So you make 2 of those. And I'm just going to trim so that the edges are nice and neat. And this is the beauty about this pattern, that if you need to, you can just trim off, and it just means, because of the shape of it, it just means that makes the bag a little bit smaller. Just going to trim off some of the...
Yeah, so I guess,
Fusible
you could make
fleece.
this whatever size you want, really.
You
Because
can.
the construction
yes.
is quite simple, but then you can just alter the size.
And I think, you know, if we are able to go on holidays and things like that, a bag like this is just so useful.
Yeah,
so
isn't it?
useful.
It's just the right sort of size because you can just sling it over your shoulder.
And I love the box
Like that.
bottom, so you've got sort of a
Bottles.
a solid base. Yes. Right.
Bottles of pop.
Okay, so the next thing you're going to do, so we've done 2 of these. So that's your front and back panel, is we're just going to top stitch down either side of the seam. So I'm just going to make the stitch a bit longer and then do a couple of lines of stitching.
I've worked out how this works.
Would you like to explain it to
Well,
everybody?
yes. Well, I thought it was a drawstring and you pulled it and you had it like a duffel bag.
No.
But it isn't like that at all. I've just worked it out. You pull the centres up like that and then it's the handles. Ah! But actually, to be fair, if you wanted to sling it over your shoulder as a duffel bag, you could do that. But what it's supposed to do, because I've just read the book, you hold its handles. That's really clever.
It's very clever. Very, very clever.
Actually, I really like that. But actually, I thought it was a duffel, but you could do it that way to put over
Yes.
your shoulder. But as a
Yes.
handbag, and then when you pull them, this is clever, isn't it? It pulls the sides in and makes like a handbag shape. Well. Well.
You learn something
It's a good job I
new.
read the book. If I'd made this, I'd have been carrying it wrong forever. And then somebody one day would go, oh, you do it like that. But that's really nice because it does sort of pull the top together.
It's lovely, and
I guess you could put a magnetic clasp on there as
yes.
well, couldn't you?
So I'm just top stitching down either side. So that's one of them top stitched. So I'm
Always read
going
the
to do
book.
the other one.
Oh, is that just to add a little bit of
Just
decor?
yes, just the finishing. I think it's you know, good to have something like the top stitching just as finishing.
Yeah.
And you can either choose a thread that's similar to the colours that you're using on the fabric, or you can have a contrast one. With the one that I've done over there, and the
Yeah,
one
you've
that
got a
you've
red
got,
one.
yeah, I did red. I chose the red, although
But I guess
did
on
think,
that one you could go like they do with jeans and put a yellowy sort
oh
of
gosh,
gold,
yes.
depending on how confident you were feeling.
Yeah, I did think about black or navy, but I quite fancied the red. I thought the red would
Or
look
you could do
good.
like one of those embroidery stitches
yes,
on the machine that you know what to do with.
yes, across, which would be really nice. Going to have to move the machine closer to me. Like, woo! Okay, so we've top stitched there. What you're going to do then is right sides together, and you want to match the seam in the centre. And I'm just going to hold these together. So the plain blue is the top of the bag and the stripe is the bottom.
Is it the same size?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly the same size.
So you could change your mind at this point.
You could, definitely. And you need to make that decision now, because what we're going to do is so I've just popped a few pins in there. We're going to machine down either side. In fact, before that, we're going to cut the box bottom. So I'm going to leave that, the plain blue, as the top of my bag, and I'm just going to do my box bottom at the bottom.
Okay.
So I'm going to do 2 inches from the edge. So just make a mark there.
Joe says if you want to move the sewing machine close to you, you can.
Thank you. Bless him. I was sort of stretching and I was thinking, oh.
He thought he'd wait for you to stitch 2 seams before he mentioned
Yes.
that.
I didn't want to do it part way through, because then everybody would think, oh, can't see what we're doing. So I'm just going to do that there. And then 2 inches. Whoops. Either way, if you match your ruler up to the edge of the actual fabric, and then you can, it's easy to make sure that you're doing that.
Oh, okay, so this
Right
make sure it's a
angle,
proper
yeah.
right angle. That's where these rulers are great, aren't they?
Oh,
Not
love
just for
them.
cutting.
Absolutely love them. What we're going to do then is just cut that out. I'm going to move my pin, obviously. Pop a couple of pins there. And you can either machine and then cut, or you can cut and then machine. It's entirely up to you. I'm just going to double check the way that Debbie
Oh, what she
suggests.
says.
She cuts and then machines. So there is a couple of ways that you can do it. Obviously, you've got your seam allowance. If you do it, you machine first. So that's the bottom of my bag. And that's the squares cut out for the box bottom. So what we're going to do is machine all the way down both sides like that, and then all the way across the bottom, but don't stitch those sections. So change your stitch length back, because I had a longer stitch when I was doing the top stitching. And this is when walking foot is useful, because you've actually got 2 layers of the fusible fleece and 2 layers of fabric, so it just makes it a little bit easier. You know that your fabric's going to be nice and flat. I like the idea that you suggested of making different sizes of these bags. I think that would be really nice.
Yes, I'd like to say it was my suggestion, but I think it was Kat's.
Oh, it was Kat,
I
was
could
it?
go, yeah, actually, it was a really good idea. It was, but you could once you, I think whenever I do something like this, I start with the instructions and I make it, and then you understand the principles behind it, and then after that you can adapt it. I think until you've actually made it, it's not always easy to know, but once you see how it goes together, and from this you'll be able to see where is the base, which seam and part of that makes the base.
And if you've not done much bag making before, this is a lovely one to start with.
It is, yeah.
Really, really nice. And the other thing is
particularly the handles.
We do, I was going to say, we do different thicknesses of cord.
Oh, okay.
I think, I'm pretty sure, online, and also different thicknesses of the eyelets.
Of the eyelets, so you could use
different
we
sizes.
have other eyelets as well.
Sorry?
We do have other eyelets so that you could put
definitely.
them through. The ones in the bundle are 10.5 mil, but the tool for that isn't in stock at the moment. You do need a special tool for that. But we do have, while I was doing that, we do have these eyelets, which are let's move the bag out of the way because you can't see them. These are 14 mil and they come with the tool. So that's for big chunky rope. If you've got smaller rope or cord, these are 5.5 mil for 40 and they come with the tool and they're gold. So you don't, with this bag, you don't have to have the big chunky rope, you can have the narrow. But in the kit, you get the bigger eyelets, but if you want sort of smaller ones or chunky ones, then those are the two and they come with the tool. But it is a really easy bag. But remember, you do need to buy the book because the book doesn't come with the fabric packs. You will need the book as well. But yeah, once you've understood the principle behind this and where the seam sits on the bag base, then you can make lots of them.
You certainly can, and I think what is lovely with Debbie's book, she's just got so many ideas for bags and things like that, which is fantastic.
Because it'd make if you made a really big one, it'd be a brilliant beach bag, wouldn't it?
Oh, it really would. Yes, to put a towel in and everything. Now with the H640, I like to remove a little bit around the seam just to take a little bit. Let me just have a look at the time.
You've got 7 minutes left.
Right, okay, I would normally do that.
Yeah, sorry, but it's our fault because we went through that fabric
I
collection.
know, but that fabric was amazing, absolutely amazing. So you will repeat then for the lining. So this is the lining. She gives all the measurements for the lining and you'll do your box bottom on the lining. The only difference is that you'll leave a gap at the bottom and that's for turning through.
Right.
Okay, so you'll just do exactly the same as you've done with the front panel. So, so we're dropping the outer bag inside the lining. So right sides together. So I'm going to actually turn this through. Oh, I'm going to do the box bottoms first. That might help, mightn't it? Jumping ahead, I'm just thinking, 7 minutes.
I know, which bit can I do? It's quite nice to see this part though, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd like to sort of show a bit about the eyelets, because if you've not done eyelets before, then, just the technique of doing the eyelets. So, right, so let's just pop a couple of pins in. We would have had holes in the bottom of our bag. So I've rushed that, sorry. You match the seams. So you open the seams up and pop a pin in, and you're going to match those seams, and then it folds quite easily to go and make the box bottom. Just that fabric's going
It's really
to...
clever, that, isn't it? You think,
Oh,
think,
it's
I wonder who
just-
worked that out.
I know. I'm just amazed that you can make bags that are three-dimensional like that. Right. So I'm just going to whiz across the bottom, and then I'll talk about how you put the two together. So do the same on the other side. And as I say, you've already done this with the lining. So again, I'll show you again. So you'll take your two fabrics, you'll match your seams together there, open up the seams. And as I say, I would normally just trim the excess wadding out of the way. Pop a
Just
couple
to
of
make
pins
it
in.
life, yeah.
And then we'll just go across the bottom there. Oh, take the pin out. On Sewing Bee, did you see one of the ladies was machining over her pins? And I'm like, oh,
Was she?
oh, I just thought, no. You always think it's going to be okay, but there will come one day when it's not.
Well, because sometimes if I put them in vertically, I will sew over them. But if you go too fast,
I know.
you have to do it really.
Yeah.
The only time I leave mine in is if I really need them to be there
Yes.
because of stability. But if you go too fast, it just catches the edge,
I know.
and the needle will break and go in your eye.
I know. You just got to be so careful. So there's your gorgeous box bottom across there like that. And so right sides together, we've got the wrong side of the lining there. You'll put the right side of the bag into the lining, or you can do it the other way around as long as you've got the right sides together. And then you'll match your seams up again at the sides, opening the seams. And I don't know how much time. Just like, oh.
Don't worry, all instructions are in the book. And
They
they're very
are,
simple.
they are.
This
but
is just
as I say, I just
this
want
is to bring it to life a bit, but
Yeah.
they are all quite simple.
So-
You've got like 5 minutes. I say, you've made almost a whole bag in 15 minutes.
I know,
so-
and that's what's beautiful about this design and pattern is that it doesn't take long to do at all. So you've got your hole in the bottom of the lining, so don't worry, you're not going to be ending up with a bag the wrong side out. Pop some pins and you'll machine all the way around the top there. Then pull it through the lining and press. I'll show you on in the book. So just here. So we've just dropped the outer bag inside the lining. When you've machined it all, you'll machine it around the top, then you'll fold the lining into the bag and then you'll top stitch across the edge there.
Yeah, yes.
And then insert the eyelet. So I'd like to sort of show if I
Because Cara
can.
has brought a hammer specially
I
for
have,
the occasion,
I
and
have.
would be very rude of us to not to allow you to use your hammer.
And this is one that my daughter bought him.
I love that. And does he fix lots of things?
He
with it?
does. He's
Oh, good.
very
Oh,
very
good.
practical. Very
I've
practical.
got one of those.
But I've borrowed this.
Not
so
husband, but dad. Very
Yes.
practical dad.
Yes. Okay. With the actual eyelets, there's information on the back of the eyelet pack telling you what to do. And as we say, I think we've maybe not got the one
We haven't got the tool for this size. But
this
they
size.
Are.
but
They're normally on the website, but we've
Yes,
sold out.
yeah.
But if you buy the other size, we have got the tool does come in it, which is
Yeah.
the pack you've got there.
So if it's just normal fabric, you have, with this tool and the eyelets, you have the ability to make the hole in the fabric. Because the fabric's got lots of layers of the wadding, I actually found it easier to draw with a friction pen around the inside of one of the eyelets.
Right, okay.
Okay. So I drew around that, and then with very sharp scissors, I made a hole. So I cut the fabric into like a cross. And then you'll take one of the pieces of the tool, and you'll place this, so it's the one that has the large point there. This goes on top of that circle. So the circle has a ridge side and a smooth side. You'll put the smooth side down, you'll actually pop that one onto there, and this is going to be the right side. So then you'll pop the fabric that and your wadding that you've cut, and you don't want a massive hole, so you want it to be very, very tight. So then you'll take the other part of the eyelet, and again there's a ridged part of the eyelet there, not sure if you can see that, and then the smooth part. So that's the ridged part, and that's the smooth part. And you want to put the ridged part down over the neck of the rivet, and then you'll take your tool, this part of the tool, and you'll place that over the actual neck of the rivet there. So do you want me to pop that on again, or is that okay?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
What I am going to do is actually just put a little bit, I don't want to damage the table or anything. So what you can do is just put something underneath. We've got a cutting board, but I found it easier if I had some wadding and some fabric
It
just
needs to go
underneath,
left
just
a
to
little bit, 'cause
protect.
you just crash in with the,
Oh,
no, the other way.
Sorry,
Perfect. Lovely. And down a bit.
and down a bit.
Right.
There we go.
Ready for the big hammer.
Yep. So I've just got
Yeah,
that
I
all
usually
in
do
place.
mine on the breadboard.
Yes, that was the other thing. Oh,
I've got lots of holes in my
in
breadboard now.
fact, I brought another
Okay.
old cutting mat.
Just because of the pressure on it.
Yeah.
but-
So I'm just going to move that. If you do move it, just make sure that everything's in the same position again. And then, so I've got my rivet and everything, and then you'll just, sorry if that was loud.
No, it was real, Cara. It was just real.
And that, as if by magic,
Is that?
pops your,
That was lovely. That was a really lovely, nice, clear to watch. Of all, to see something's done in that much detail, you need to watch the whole thing. You can't
Yes.
talk you through that.
yeah. So that's nice, and then that's
And that's
ready.
that. Brilliant.
Make
Well,
a real
thank you so much,
professional
Cara. I'm
finish.
sorry
That's okay.
we rushed you today, but it was great. You showed us so many things.
That's okay.
When are you back on with us?
6th of May. I know, and I know what I'm doing as well.
Hooray! Hooray! Oh, that's really good news. Well, thank you so much. It's been
That's all right. No, it's been
lovely
lovely to
working with
see
you
you, and I
today.
hope everybody keeps well and safe and enjoys the sunshine.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, down the pub.
Yeah. In the garden.
In the garden,
Yeah.
yes. So the pattern for this book is in Debbie's new half-yard summer collection, which is a compilation of her favourite 35 favourites plus 5 new ones. So you've got 40 projects in here, and 5 of them are brand new. And it's only $14.99 for 40 projects. And well, we've been through it at the beginning. You see there's some lovely, lovely projects in here. And it isn't available anywhere else until the 21st. So it is still, for 2 more days, still exclusive to us. So we've got the bundles. The one that Cara was working with, doing the demonstration with, is this one here. So you get 1/2 metre of the blue stripe fabric and 1 metre of this lovely plain blue chambray colour fabric and a packet of silver eyelets. The next bundle, the blue one, you get 1/2 metre of the azure blue caravan. So you So brand new fabric, looks lovely around the bottom and base of your bag. You've then got a metre of the plain blue, cornflower blue, which you use for the top of the bag and the lining. And then you've got a packet of violets. And the final bundle, if you fancy a little bit more warm red, is the red caravan fabric, 1/2 metre of for the bottom of the bag and the base, a metre of the coral, and a packet of the islets. The fabric that was in the striped bundle, but on its own, because the bundle has sold out, but the fabric you can still buy by the 1/2 metre. And that's this one here. It's this lovely border print fabric, which is so useful for lots and lots of things. Now, this is 1/2 metre, £7.49. But obviously it's cut off the bolts, so if you want more than that, you want a metre, you know, just put extra units in, it will be cut as a whole piece. So this is this lovely border where you've got alternating azure, caravans and black. So this whole fabric collection we have launched today, brand new. All of the fabric is available by the 1/2 metre. It's available on the website, and the panel is a separate thing. This is your caravan outdoor cushions, isn't it? We love this. So this is the panel. But look on the website, and all the fabrics that I've been talking about to you today. I'm going to keep hold of it this time because it fell off. So there we go. So there is all the caravans. This is the panel. So all of the other fabrics are available by the 1/2 metre. This will be sold as an individual panel with the borders and other things. So you can make lots of different things from this, from satchels to outdoor cushions to a wall hanging to just quilt. You could put pockets on it and have it hanging up in your cushion. Some of the fabrics are running low, so do have a look on the website of www.sewingstreet.com, click on watch live, scroll down below, and it's all there for you to see. So you can choose which fabrics you want, look at the measurements, decide what you need. So, gosh, nearly 12 o'clock. So tomorrow, that's it for Sewing Street, but don't go anywhere because we've got Yarn Lane next and it's fab. But I will talk about Sewing Street tomorrow. So tomorrow on Sewing Street at 8 o'clock, we've got pre-cut bundles, and it's the second in our panel of the week. That always starts on a Tuesday. Brand new exclusive panel of the week. At 9 o'clock, we've got the Geisha Girl wall hanging. Oh, we've got Yvonne on air. So nice. So she's doing the Geisha Girl wall hanging. At 10 o'clock, Japanese inspired fabrics. Oh, that's going to be popular. Everyone loves Japanese fabrics. A bit of gilt on there, hopefully. 11 o'clock, batik book covers with Yvonne, batik and Yvonne. And 12 o'clock, the Juki UX8 and sewing. That's the fancy one. That'd be nice to watch. That is tomorrow on Sewing Street. But stay with us if you want to stay with us to watch Yarn Lane. If you're on the TV, just stay where you are, and we'll be with you in a couple of minutes. If you're watching us on Facebook or online, you need to move over to www.yarnlane.com. It's all the same login details. If you have shopped on Sewing Street and you're now going to shop on Yarn Lane, there is only one P&P. It will cross through from one to the other. It's all the same login details, but we're just slightly, different channels because it is a different channel. So very exciting. We have got the launch of brand new designs, new yarns, and we have actually got Chloe, who is the knitwear designer who has designed these beautiful things. You are going to love this. So I will see you back here in 2 or 3 minutes when I've had a cup of tea and cleared the set a bit, and we get Chloe on air. So thank you very much for joining us on Sewing Street this morning.